Okay, Toast without... Oh, excuse me?
What?
Sorry? I didn't realize there was a second player. I found out
Nag-white
in the kill
screen.
feed. Oh!
Big mate.
God! He's just filthy.
Okay na?
Kaide doing the best she
Hindi pa
can,
din.
but I mean...
Ayan, okay na.
Around the world right now.
I-full screen mo na
Yeah,
siya.
just taking the tour.
What? What? Tingnan ang ginagawa
We
nila.
got some RP as well, that's crazy.
Yes, they
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Vinny. Oh, you've unlocked one.
Oh!
The biggest thing is
Naka-AFK
like, what
lang
are they
sila.
doing?
Tawa si Benny.
In spawn. Oh. Yes, the fun police did indeed.
Bro, they
Yeah.
just... Ay! Grabe. Di ba sila mag-gumagana? That was
I
toxic.
feel
That was
like I should
toxic.
lip read that
Okay,
one as
10's
well.
one. Toast one. One match lang naman yun.
Guys, 10's kind of kicked
That
up
was
gears.
toxic.
3 to 11.
Yeah.
Bakit? Bakit?
Oh,
He's got back
Naka-sit
into
lang
the
sa
rhythm of being on
spawn.
stage.
Kaya nga eh.
yeah. Yeah, he's quite good at stage games, isn't he? Oh,
Oh, okay.
We're leaking.
Okay.
O sige,
I like
Toast
that.
versus PRX. Diyan lang.
So what would where in the map would you say
Napakamat
this
siya ng
is the most
ulo eh.
feasible approach?
5-man slam.
Toast,
Probably
Toast
through
versus
E.
PRX.
Okay.
Come
I
on.
think A, the attackers have a little bit more to work with.
Kahit unfair, okay lang yan.
They teased us and then they'll do it.
Yeah,
Toast versus
that's a ruse.
PRX.
And it feels like they're trying to extend a little bit of
Kahit
gameplay here. I'm
unfair,
seeing
okay lang.
classics and cherish, but I can also see your money. Team Toast.
Patay na
Oh
ako.
no, 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 no,
Oy!
no, no, 10.
Sayang! Sayang. Sayang di niya tinag si ano, si
This feels
Tarik.
mean.
Target niya si
Big
Tarik
C's though,
eh.
actually.
Oh god, look at what's waiting. Look. There's knives.
Grabe. Ano, having fun
And
sila.
there's a
Ano,
choke
having
point.
fun mga match to.
If they carry on this
Meanwhile,
way, it's
yung
probably
mga
not gonna feel-
nag-champion,
don't-
ano,
don't-
sobrang
Hindi sila totally, ano,
They're getting
serious.
paid in, Mike. They're getting paid
Kasi
in.
ano, for fun lang talaga.
City
Ay,
waiting.
may kiwi, may kiwi.
Oh, we got one.
Bebe, may kiwi.
Oh, she's still going!
Naka-nice yung dalawa.
I thought one was enough. The
Grabe,
second as well.
Yung for fun versus yung sobrang seryoso
You
na
really gonna
stress
take
ka.
that, Tarek? You letting
I
that
love how
happen?
it's Tarek the first to fall.
Oh,
Bebe, mag-ano tayo?
May kiwi, may kiwi.
Sacrifice. Giving it up.
Mag-Summerfest ulit. Ay, Summer Harvest. Pag nag-start.
Summer
Sobrang dami ko. Summer Harvest tayo.
We were promised
Yun
this.
yung event
Um,
na pag nag-start, maglalagay ka ng
Now it's
fruits
gonna be
dun sa
very
gitna.
loud
We've got 5 opponents now.
now we can see how spammable
Yeah,
the
we're
map is.
testing
There we
where these
go.
balls are.
Ay, Radzi.
Well,
Well, this is the one we're on the pound.
Uy, nawawal bang pala yun?
Well, at least you have other spots to play.
Ano? At least we know.
You have options.
that
Okay.
is true.
Okay.
That would not be
This
fun
this
otherwise.
new map is so
luckily,
complicated.
most-
A bit.
Mostly unscathed here.
Yeah, they really.
Madaming nawawal bang
Actually,
dito, I
they're-
feel like.
Yeah, Toast of
Okay.
course.
Look at
first.
look at
Mga
mid,
mga
they're-
Saka galing Radzi.
Yeah.
Maganda tamagot din.
Oh,
Oh, Tarik!
Ala,
You're
sila
whipping.
na din.
no, this is not
Oh my gosh, kaya di.
probably the caliber
Parang ako.
that the next game should be
Nagugano
like.
din.
But you never know. Oh, it's just very loud.
Bro, they're
here.
just-
it's
they're
very,
just
very
spamming.
loud. Thank you, Vinny, and thank you, Tarek,
Oh,
for
come back.
quietening down
No.
Team Toast.
Have they run out of money yet?
No.
As I say, do we get another
Anong game to? All-Star?
background?
Hindi.
Do we get another weird purchase?
Andyan.
Ano pa lang, yan ay having fun ata.
For
Mga
fun,
streamer.
I mean,
mga
Toast, that is
mga for
just
fun,
any sort of shotgun.
bago yung...
Asa ka, Radzi?
I guess another
Sa
question
amin.
as well with to get a reveal into that site, kind of has to go through the window. What are the opportunities to come over that artery in terms of the sniper?
This
Is there
Tarek,
any
man.
kind of
Okay, alright.
possibilities for
That's
early
enough
reveals
fun,
to
guys.
set
This
up, or do you
guy's
have to take the space in front of that window?
You kind of need to take the space in front of the window. You can do some level of recon.
Naghihingalo na ako guys. Putang
They're
ina,
going
tatlong
all in.
araw na kami
They
walang
want to end this
wifi.
one, it looks like. But
Ay.
let's go on the site. We do have that vice utility here as well.
Ay.
Sayang pera ko sa kakalot eh.
Towards heaven. Tens has a go and it just
Really?
clicks the
Tatlong araw pala kayo. Oh.
Tatlong
araw pala kayo walang wifi.
Again, that's a
Yun nga.
that right there.
Ending
That's
Kaya
ako.
pa.
prime.
Hindi ako makapaglaro ng Roblox. Di din makapag-update ng balo.
slippery with these positions, figuring out the map.
Oh. Naglaro kami kanina.
Yeah, she
Ni
did.
Radzi.
Abot.
Ay,
Abot
ni na
pa
Radzi, ni na
Okay.
Karox.
Ninyo.
3v2, Mel and Toast.
Oh!
Hello, Tarek.
She's dead.
Wake up
Oh,
here, buddy.
gee,
Mel
I
is
think-
Nagigo
reining
pick.
it in. Nice little
Magaling si Mel eh.
swim south
Yung
there.
babae na yun.
Magaling, magaling.
Oh.
Seryoso siya
Ian
maglaro.
as well.
Oh, Mel is
Masyado.
putting on a masterclass. This could
Immortal
be
eh.
lovely, but a tap on the spike gonna draw the hand. Has to show.
Never mind, he immortal.
Ay!
You ending it now up against Mel.
Girl versus girl.
Don't do it. Don't
Woman
do it.
versus
Sasaksakin, sasaksakin.
She's taking it.
There's the time.
Sayang yun. Sayang yun.
The nice try all around. The blue
Oh
team
my gosh,
seven.
they just looking
Team
at each other.
Toast coming out swinging.
Ito na. Ayan na.
First
Ito na yung real
international
match.
road champions crown.
True.
Dinadili pa kasi ito, ano eh. Dinadili pa eh.
Mel, top of the board.
Show match.
Jens, top of the board.
Uy, dami
Yan na,
na.
sunod. Sunod na ata. Sunod na ba?
Oh, ito na. Hindi, ano, wala na yan. One match lang yan eh.
It was. I mean,
Ito na.
I'm glad we actually saw
Ito
a
na yung
couple of
real match.
examples, particularly towards mid.
Ito
Some of the
yung
things we were
dito tayo
talking about
makakabahan.
ahead of time. I'm interested to see kind of how the development of
Nag-have fun lang sila,
Postmarks,
nag-have
that's
fun.
where, that's
Oh,
where I'm
had
leaning
fun
with
sila.
this. The defender side aggression, like you said, setting up
Embarrassing
kind of
Tarik
set
team.
pieces and more initiator-oriented
Yeah.
gameplay, but also how the postmarks develop.
Oh.
Is there anything that kind of stood
What?
out to you?
No, I think they were
Nag-
kind of playing
nagtatrust
how
ako.
I would think
Tatrust
like,
ako.
you know, of this caliber would play. Like they were going for a lot of mid splits. They were trying to like,
Feeling ko
take the
sinasabi
time
niya,
as they're
sorry.
getting- I think there was times where too where like
Sinasabi.
example from
Kaya sila
Kostaki,
nag-
where he was able to hold down elbow and get those 2 picks. I think that's exactly kind of the gameplay we want
Okay.
to see.
Oh, that was good fun. All good spirits though.
Ba't kaya walang babae sa, ano,
Not for the
I
sa
was going to say, yeah.
VCT?
Touch and go
Except
for a
yung,
minute
ano,
there.
yung
Support
all girls.
breaks down
Yeah,
the
what's
side.
coming out, yeah.
Ah.
It was ramping up a little
Meron.
bit, but
Merong all girls team
I
eh.
just want to see
Oh.
what the team's doing
Ba't
this
kaya
now.
walang kasama babae
Yeah,
sa
get those
VCT?
projects
Ano yun,
out
sina
there so we can
Fluorescent
make this
yata
match.
yun?
You saw glimpses
Ah.
of what it could look like. And
Ba't walang
again, we are
babae
getting
sa
ourselves
kanila?
ready here for the Verizon
Dito.
post-game interview.
Oh.
You can see Yinzu getting locked in down on stage.
Because it's
And,
forbidden.
yeah, everyone just lining up and
Di ka, Radzi?
I think a good first glimpse.
I don't know,
Yeah,
bro.
for sure. I
Girls,
guess,
girls are...
key takeaways, like I said, is
Good
I'm
at
really
Valorant.
wanting to see
Wi-Fi
kind
na
of
kami.
composition
Basta
changes.
nag-i-
Some of the
ano na
other
ako
things we
dito.
talked about.
Gusto niya daw mag-Valorant.
We're gonna pass it on down to
Tama.
Yinzu. Let's hear from the
Sino?
captains of that
Sinong
fantastic
Valorant?
show.
Nag-i-enjoy kami ng Valorant, pre.
Well, that was a
Red.
fabulous
Puti
display
kayo?
of
Puti
mechanics,
kayo, may mga
skill,
Nag-i-enjoy
wifi
talent
kayo.
on the
Nag-i-enjoy
new map.
kami.
I'm now
Wait lang.
joined by Toast
11
and Tarik here, but I didn't realize
AM
we're
tayo
gonna have
nag-start.
everyone here. So real
12,
quick,
1,
10,
2, 3,
you're coming back, right? After
Tama
that,
nga,
you're coming
1
back.
nga mag-start.
Mga 6 hours tayo nagbabalorant.
So I had to show her what's up.
You have to come back. That was
We were
crazy
playing
up there.
6 hours
But
and then
Toast,
we're
the
so,
judge,
ano na, parang
the
nasawan.
Cypher defense setups, it was so nasty. What about you? Have you ever thought about maybe, I know you like to
Masaya
start
pa
your
din
own team,
magbalo.
but maybe put yourself in there.
Yeah, this experience has taught me that I
Tapos
don't
si
need
Radzi wala daw.
Radzi,
players.
masaya magbalo.
on my team.
Oo nga, Radzi.
Oo.
I
Oo,
completely
kasi.
agree.
Oo,
Masaya
but
magbalo.
Tarik, it wasn't for
Oo.
a lack of trying. You brought it as well. Love the things
Wala
that
akong
you
gusto.
managed to show us.
Oo,
What did you make of the new
nakakabala
map?
sa
There was
buhay
a
niyo.
lot of kind of
Masaya
new things
magbalo.
we saw. The
Nangangati
Urinspan
ang
and so on
aking
and so
kamay.
forth.
Gusto ko nang manakal ng isang ano.
That was not a
Wi-Fi
great first experience
technician.
on the new map. I was
Ay.
getting judged and ran down just like left and right.
Din,
But,
isasakalin
I think it's gonna be
natin.
really exciting and it'll bring a new flavor to Valorant. So it's fun to see what'll happen with it. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Hindi pa,
And very
hindi pa
quickly, which
nabayaran
team do you
ang
anticipate
covers,
to be
hindi
able
namin
to take over
natapos.
on this map?
Which team do I think will be
Ah,
on the
oo.
map?
Oo nga pala.
I mean, I
Walang,
got 6 MLs.
nawalan
I
niya
agree
ng
with you. I agree with
Wi-Fi
you. But more
pa.
importantly, there's a reason why there is a
Never.
cake here. As you guys know, the
Nawalan ng
loser
Wi-Fi.
is gonna get this cake
Yun nga.
to the face.
Nawalan
So
ng Wi-Fi.
I just want to make sure we're
Nawalan ng
out of
Wi-Fi.
the firing line. Toast, you earn this. Enjoy this.
Gusto naman
You
ng
need
yung
help?
summer, ano.
I think he needs a bit of help. Yeah.
Ah, hindi. Hindi ako magsa-summer.
Here we go.
Hindi
Here
ka
we go.
kasama.
Here we go.
Ah, binigyan na ng chance.
Yun. Next one.
Yeah, bukas na kami pupunta ulit ng school.
Bakit?
Tapos, yun yung chance namin.
Ah.
All right, go for it, Toast.
Chance.
Anong pinagagawa sa inyo? Wala.
Yeah, bukas pa lang sasabihin. Mag-iisip muna daw eh. Ito, bukas yung day.
Oh my goodness! So what a day it is
Si
here at the
Tarik.
Grand Finals. Congratulations once again to Team Tarik.
Ah.
The main event is coming up right after this. One more time, guys. Give it up for Team Toast.
Kinain.
Sino yung masarap kaya? Mukhang masarap.
Patikim?
Ano Nico, may bad blood pa sa inyong dalawa ni you know who.
Sino?
All I gotta say is I'm a little bit
Yeah,
jealous
si
because
Negro.
I look like Red Velvet.
Ah.
I love me some Red Velvet. Body built
Ano,
like Red
meron
Velvet,
pa?
you know what I'm saying?
Di
But
pa rin
anyways,
ako,
everyone,
di pa rin
welcome back,
okay.
Golden Boy here on the desk.
Pero-
We have
Sino?
the
Ikaw
one
sa kanya
and
o
only.
siya
We have
sa'yo?
Ilfario, we also have Anna Dolan. You
Hindi, I
guys
mean,
know
hindi
them,
pa
right?
rin
Give it
kami
up,
okay.
Give it up, you don't mind? Give it up.
Guys.
Muchas gracias.
Pero,
All right.
Okay lang naman
we do
na
this
mag,
every event.
ano, like,
It's
usap
kind of
kami
become a
ulit.
tradition of ours at this point, which is
Fine
super
ulit.
fun. So why don't we go ahead and first talk
Para
about the new map.
magkaayos.
Just debut new map. Looks awesome. Looks super fun.
Kailangan
personal
talaga yung
experience, have you had a
mag-purpose
chance to
mode
play on it?
I have
Main
Ay.
on it?
I have played on
Ewan
it.
ko
I
kung
haven't
sino.
decided who I want to main on it yet.
Okay.
I loved watching
Eh,
it now
Sige nga.
play though, because they can make these things. We have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I love watching them try. It was
Yeah.
great.
And the
right?
trailer
Sige.
was great. The
Yeah.
Miss ko ng
cinematic was
bullying
awesome.
yung
Super
nag-rate
that
ang
cake
yun.
was super cakes approved.
Pwede naman.
Super cakes
Yun.
approved.
Super cakes approved.
That's right. You got to hear first.
Yeah, mawawalan
yeah, I
na
mean,
ako
this
ng
map
load.
looks like it's going to be a pretty fun
Yeah,
addition
yes.
to the circuit when we finally get it added.
Enjoy
Out ka na?
Lots of variety as
Ay,
far as, like, defensive
grabe.
is concerned.
Iwan
And
tayo,
you can see
big
the
mate.
attackers really do so
1 hour
much. I
lang
think
yung
teams are
aking
going to have some fun with this.
1 hour
What do
lang
you
yung
think about
aking
it?
load.
Man, we're
But
very
Ah.
excited. Look, this map's gonna be
Ay, siya, sige.
something like a more
Yeah, peace out,
straightforward
guys.
play to
Good night.
to Valorant and the VCT. As you said, it is supposed to give
Yan na.
more of that.
Big mate, may laban na.
Yeah.
One
player
mag-start.
defense to our competition. So yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see how
Maps.
some of our pro teams take to it.
That's
Right?
right. Maps always play a big role in how you know Valorant unfolds. So looking
Exactly.
forward to seeing it in play.
Exactly. Now, another thing, and you guys can probably see it over here.
Love, madami
is
akong
our
naka-ready na
MVP
harvest.
bracelet, because we're going to be awarding our most
Ikaw?
valuable player at the end of this. Leo,
Hello?
who's in your running so far for MVP?
Look, man, I think we
Madami
have
ako
a
naka-ready
really good
na
candidates
harvest.
this event. I think, look, I think our boy Forsaken has a
Forsaken.
real shot.
I like
You
that.
know, he's a
Okay.
pure ex-veteran who's been in
Hey,
that,
pa yung
with that roster
trophy.
since 2021.
Wow.
You know, his like
Ganda.
ex-player been killing the event. So
Malaki ba yun?
All right.
Ano eh?
Okay,
Excited.
Toronto. How we
Ano yan,
feeling?
necklace?
Forsaken
Ano?
to be MVP,
Para sa
Toronto.
neck?
What do you think?
Oh, ayun.
We got some Forsaken fans.
Sa
out
kamay?
there. Anna, what about you?
All right, I think
Ikaw
I'm
lang.
gonna go
Hindi pa
Fnatic. I'm
nakita
gonna
ko.
say
player. Look, man,
End of this.
Ah, necklace pala yun.
boy
Pero
Forsaken has
trophy yata yun, no?
Forsaken.
Pero di pa nakita lahat.
I like it.
Bracelet.
He's been looking incredible up there. We're looking
Super
forward to
tight.
seeing him take
Pero
to that
ito-
stage.
ito
Oh
di
yeah,
ba
the
yun?
kid's incredible, without a doubt. Now,
Kala ko
alright, well,
choker.
Look, we'd like to talk about some fun stuff up here, and any news that we should be expecting late this
Kiwi
year and
Seed.
beyond regarding, like, you know, the game, the sport,
Alam
everything.
mo naman ulit.
What do you got to share first?
I mean, there's always something coming, right? So look, it is June, right? June. We're still in
So,
June. I think.
Yes,
June.
crazy enough. It feels like it's been 5 years.
I know.
but yes.
Like every time we come to one of these, I feel like the year just ended. This one has not ended. We still got a lot to go. Of course, we have another agent coming out this year, so we've got that to look forward to. Yeah, no details, but yes, we do have another agent coming. We've got replays
Please?
finally. Replays on the way.
We like replays.
I don't think we deserve applause, but I am super happy that they're coming. You know, we've got the Unreal 5 update. I actually did want to say, like, we saw a lot of player chatter around concerns that
Kawawa
maybe
mga
Unreal 5
ano,
is going to make it like less
potato
performant
PC.
on lower end machines. I
Yeah.
actually think it's going to do the opposite. Like that. So I
Unreal
wanna make
Engine
sure we
5.
don't have to worry about that. Game's still going to run really well.
Bakit?
And then I think, you know, we're going to spend the rest
Ano,
of this year
lalo sila
really
maglalag.
dialing in things
Ah,
like
yung
gunplay,
Valorant.
agent abilities, things like that. Like that's going to be a
Yung
big
bagong
focus
map
for
kasi.
us. Hopefully you've already seen
Unreal
some of those
Engine
changes
5 na eh.
coming online. We've been
Yeah,
working on
yeah.
that a bit.
Dun
I've
sa
seen it in
Valorant?
this event actually
Ah,
paying
papalit
off a
sila.
lot.
Okay.
But I think what you're going to see post champs is like some of our a little bit more aggressive changes. Not too aggressive, but like there's a good chance we break some
ano
stuff.
na?
You know, there's a good chance we break some
2025
stuff. But the goal is to get it fixed and
Siyempre.
good heading into 26. So
Ayaw mo ng
I think
kiwi?
the game's going to be in a
Big
really
mate?
really good spot
Kinuha ko
heading
na,
into next
kinuha ko
year.
na.
Oh, I know a lot of people are excited about that for sure. And
I-plant
for
mo
me,
siya.
as an
Need
esports
mo siya
nerd,
for
Leo,
summer
what do we
event.
have?
3 minutes na lang.
Champs around the corner. We're
That's
going
right.
to Paris. It looks like it's going to be a blast.
Oh,
what do you got?
man.
Please, basta
Champs is
please,
always,
break,
you know,
ha?
the moment we pull all the
Naubusan ako.
stops. Of course, we have stage 2 before, and that playoff is going to be sick.
Naubusan ako.
But yeah,
Basta
Champs
stage
coming
two.
up.
Mag-start na?
Paris, by the way, a reminder
Yun
for
na.
everyone.
Summer.
Verify your account
3
if you're going
minutes.
to buy tickets,
Yun lang.
right? We want to make
Di
sure
ko- di
tickets
ko
are
pa
Sabi
na-
mag-start na.
fans,
That's
and
right.
we have a verification
Di pa ako
process, so make sure
nakapaglagay.
you verify
Paano
your
yun?
account. But look, we're
Ah,
very
hindi.
excited. We've been
Mag-i-start
trying
pa lang
a number
bago
of,
ka
new
maglalagay.
things this year, including
Ah.
getting a little bit
3
more into
2
this
minutes.
convention vibe, more
Kailangan mo na
more activation.
mga summer fruits
Closer
lang
to
ha.
the action.
Ang pwede mong gamitin.
And
Mga
we're seeing that in
strawberry.
Toronto, we're gonna see that at Champs,
ganon.
but of course, we still have more to come.
Big
We have
mate.
Ascension after
I don't
Champions.
Yeah.
We have Game
Madami
Championship
ka strawberry
coming
dito,
to
sa unahan.
Lockhart
Which is
Control for the
Yung
first
kiwi
time.
That's
hindi.
going to be so awesome. I'm
So, yeah.
excited.
Kiwi
So
pwede.
lots to come this year.
Yeah,
Banana, pwede.
Speaking for myself as like an old school esports kid who like went to these
Ano pa ba?
conventions back in the day, compete in a lot of these tournaments.
Yung
it
mga
really did
bagong
bring back
seed.
the feeling for me. I do want to give a special shout out to the artists.
Mga
out
summer
there.
lang,
They are
summer seed.
absolutely incredible
Bawal
out
lang
there.
ano
Yeah,
ha.
and if you're in the venue and you haven't had a
Coconut.
chance to check out Artist Alley yet, please do so. Support local artists. They
Are, big mate,
very
oh,
much
madami
use
kang
your support,
strawberry.
and
Sana.
really just creative stuff, man.
I spent so much money.
Okay. Hey, you know, and then there's more money to spend. No, but seriously, go check them out. It's amazing stuff here. And, you know, speaking of amazing, we're actually celebrating 5 years of Valorant, and it has been quite the journey to get to this point here, Leo. What's one of your favorite memories, man?
Man, look, it's hard to choose one. I think there's so many. I really love like that very first event we had fans, a crowd in Copenhagen.
Yeah. That was my first event. Yeah, right? Man.
Lock-in holds a special place in my heart. But I think my favorite is Champions in LA.
Yeah.
Just because, look, it was such an iconic venue. It was Riot's backyard, so it meant a lot to us. And the whole story of that tournament was beautiful. Seeing that team in Potter.
1 minute, big mate.
Lifting the
Ready.
championship trophy in front of the home crowd. It felt very special.
Yeah, it was historic. It was such a moment, without a doubt. All right, and what about you? What's your favorite memory of these 5 years?
This was like the hardest question on this entire thing.
Yeah, it's
Bebe,
listed as
summer.
I know it's TBD in your notes. I was like, what one thing for 5 years? Look, I will say, I think closed beta, honestly, is like, it's gonna just, I don't know what's gonna top that feeling in that moment when like we had put our heart and soul into this thing.
Yeah.
We didn't know if anyone was gonna want to play it. We didn't know if anyone was
1
gonna
minute.
show up. And then those servers started lighting up, Twitch streams, code drops. Like it was
30 seconds.
so overwhelming. Andy Ho, our EP, was like physically dropping codes.
Bebe,
to
lapit.
people. We're like calling.
Kuha ka ng madami
servers.
strawberry.
And that's kind of like, you know, it was like this moment where we knew like we'd made something that people would like want to play and that they would want to invest their time in, and that was the dream. Like we didn't make it for us, like we
Bebe.
made it for all these people. So that moment will,
Bebe.
I don't know what.
I mean, you know, even from like me as like a video game industry nerd, like what you guys accomplished releasing a game during COVID
made-
like that was actually quite unprecedented at the time,
Yes.
and was historic.
That
Actually laid the
planned.
groundwork for a lot of the industry moving forward. So, and that's not blowing smoke. I'm being honest. Like
Thank
that
you.
genuinely is like what happened. So you guys have a lot to be proud of
Thank you
there,
so much.
and it's been quite the journey.
Thank you.
It
It's
really
been a
has.
huge journey.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody. It's
Yeah,
been
for real.
amazing.
And seriously, I
Pati
mean,
yung
it's
Ari
always
na,
a pleasure
summer
to
na,
get an opportunity to
summer.
chat with you guys. There's always going to be more
3,
trickles of
2, kuha ka ng
down
madaming
the road,
strawberry.
and I'm excited
Sa'yo.
for it as well.
Kailangan mo
But
lang
for
yung
now,
mga
folks,
summer,
that is
ano.
where we are going to leave you here. For now, you might give us a round of applause.
Yung mga
for Leo and
bagong
Anna. Thank
ano,
you so much
fruits.
for joining me
Katulad
here.
ng mga kiwi.
Thank you,
Ikaw ko yung
Toronto.
strawberry. Kinukuha ko.
Because Toronto
Banana.
has been
Ganon.
incredible.
Lahat
and
ng
the
strawberry
good
kunin
news
mo.
is we
Worth
have
it to.
more to come because the grand
Banana,
finals
mango,
between
mango.
PaperX and Fnatic are around the corner.
Yung
But for
mango?
now, let's go ahead and hear from one possible MVP contender.
Kunin ko yung
We
mango?
spoke with Jing about
Ay, hindi
making the
pwedeng
grand
mango,
finals
hindi
in
pwedeng
this
mango.
moment, player moment.
Yung mga bago lang. Strawberry,
I'm Sing and I'm from PaperX.
banana,
Also really good.
kiwi,
They're definitely a really good team, and they also came into this
yung mga
tournament
ganun.
with a lot of confidence.
Watermelon.
Silfed BB has played a really big part in helping them. I've seen like many clips online of him like cheering his team up and just giving his entire team a lot of energy and confidence. So I think they played a really
Bibit,
big part in
lagay ka.
how they're playing right now. So yeah,
May
I think
time,
it
may
was really
time.
important. So big props to Silfed BB.
Gonna have to do work here.
10 ano lang to. 10 minutes.
Of course, it's really exciting and
10 minutes.
really proud of my team because
10 minutes
in
lang
Pacific
to.
we were like down 0-3 and we barely even made
Kinuha ko yung
it to
strawberry.
playoffs in Pacific.
Love 200 na.
Yeah, I mean now we have really good momentum, so hopefully the Cinderella run continues. I see all the PaperX jerseys in the crowd. You guys truly fuel our will to win. This one is gonna be fun.
Lab, wag ka munang dumikit. Hindi ko malagay.
Now, these two teams have both made incredible runs in their respective brackets.
Naubusan na ang backpack.
The PaperX train.
Ilagay mo lang. Isa-isa mo. Tapos pag nalagay mo na lahat, balik ka.
Many tournament
Sir, ko,
favorites
lahat.
along the way. And then over in the lower
Strawberry
side,
lang.
you had Fnatic, who survived
Lahat ng
4
strawberry.
straight
Sir,
elimination
ko, lahat.
matches,
Strawberry.
including a
Hindi,
best of
wag mo
5
isal.
to
Wag mo
make
isal.
it back to
Dito mo
their
ilagay.
first grand final
Saan?
in
Summer fruit.
728 days. Of
Dito,
course,
gitna.
joining me back on the desk here, you have Kukuka as well as Mimi, as we're going to break everything down for today's grand finals
What?
matchup between PaperX and
What?
Lagay mo dun.
Fnatic. But before we dive into everything,
Yung
that is
strawberry?
going to bring us to our MasterCard fan poll. We want to know which team you think is
Ay,
going to lift
no,
that
no.
trophy today.
Lagay mo dito,
Scan the
sa
QR
summer
code,
plant.
cast your vote for
Lagay
PaperX
ko,
or Fnatic, and then of course all throughout the finals, make sure you use the hashtags VCT as well as Valorant Masters so we can get your good stuff on the broadcast. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about this game here because this is PaperX's third grand final appearance, and yet they only have donuts to show for it in the category of wins. What's going on here?
And the first two are
Lahat ng
both
strawberry.
heartbreakers in their history, all the way
Nice.
back in Copenhagen, the first event with a live audience. PaperX fell to
Lalagay ko.
FPX's
Wait lang, wala na ako.
incredible lower
Balik
bracket
ako.
run, and then it was another heartbreak when they
Lalagay
came
ko lahat
back
ng
again
strawberry,
a couple years later to qualify to the
Nakuha na
grand
ako.
finals at Champions
Wait,
in
naka-
Los Angeles. So
naka-
now,
naka
Bea,
52
the
na ako.
question today is, will the third
Refill
time
ako,
be the
refill.
charm for PaperX?
Yeah, exactly. It's not only that. They've been a part of so many of
nakalagay
these
na ako,
best of
100.
fives, getting further into the tournaments.
That's
But
not
so
very-
far, it's not only the grand
Dali.
finals, also the lower brackets. They still have to win a best of 5
Dami.
globally.
Lapit na
And
ako.
in so many occasions, we spoke about PaperX. Come on, this is their tournament.
Dani ko,
And as we
nakalagay na ako
look
sa strawberry.
at how it's
Marami.
been looking in the comparison
100.
between
Ako
these
din.
two teams in
Okay
these
na?
global appearances,
Hindi pa,
we
hindi
see
pa.
on the right side,
Uncommon
Fnatic
pa lang
with those
rewards
two
natin.
first and then going down, but coming
Ayun
back
na,
up.
nasa
But
left
for
mo.
PaperX,
Ay, nasa right.
They're on the same of like, let's go back to greatness and set a difference today.
Nasa right ng
In
iyong
terms of
ano,
every
screen.
team in Valorant,
Yung sign.
PaperX is one
Uncommon
of those
rewards.
organizations that has the deepest pedigree, that have been to almost 10 global events
Dapat
across
pala,
their
no?
history in the game. The fact that they don't have a trophy yet
Yeah.
is a shock. And that's why people love this team, why they root
My
for them,
God.
because
Nakatuwa din
everyone has
nata
been waiting for that moment where it finally happens, where they finally lift a trophy. And today they have another chance.
They really do. This team has certainly won the hearts of a lot of people throughout their tenure in the
Oh my God.
history of Valorant esports. But that young man on your screen there is someone who we thought we said goodbye to for a little while, but turns out not to be the case. Jing came back with the squad and ended up being stronger than ever, Mimi.
This was supposed to be his last match at Champions when they lost in that finals. It was a heartbreaking way to go. He went to register for his national service, which is required for everyone in Singapore, but it turned out that he had a medical issue that meant that he could not complete that service, but that he still could come back and play. So PaperX got this opportunity to have a
5 minutes pa.
superstar
Kuha
they
pa ako.
didn't even think that they would have back on their roster. And now, more than a year since they thought it would be his last game, he's in another final with the squad that has always been his.
If you think about PaperX, you have to think about Jing. If you think
100%.
of why you love this team, why you support them, it's being crazy. He's playing the game the way no other team apparently can do. And one of
those squads.
But for at how it's been looking in the comparison between these two teams in this global appearances, we see on the right side Fnatic with those two first and then going
Ilan na,
down
Bin?
but coming back up. But for
Uncommon pa
PaperX,
din?
they're
Seryoso?
on the same of like, let's go back to greatness and set a difference today.
Case.
You think of
Chronicle, who is looking to become the
Yan na. Team na
undisputed
ba?
GOAT,
Ay, di
greatest
pa.
of all time
lang.
in Valorant. If he wins this tournament, it will be 4 trophies for this man. 4 trophies, and he's only
Ay, pa
22
din.
years old.
Chronicle
4 minutes.
is one of the biggest legends of this game. He was one of the first ever winners that we had in EMEA back in Masters Berlin. Doing it with different rosters, doing it from different roles. There is nothing Chronicle cannot do. Initiator, Duelist, Sentinel, it doesn't matter. And if we take a look at the numbers, he's always been one of the most consistent players in this game.
Valorant's most consistent player, I would say. He has been here since the beginning, attending the second Masters event and lifting a trophy there, going to the final Champions that year. No matter what time, what meta, what teammates, Chronicle goes deep in tournaments, and he only gets better the bigger the stage is. He's already improved from the group stage to now in playoffs, and you know he's the type of guy who's gonna step up in a grand final like this.
Oh my God.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, of course, you do got to consider the IGLs in this moment here, because you have Boser, you just saw on your screen, and Forsaken. And Forsaken stepping into this role for like the first time here. This is a huge opportunity for him, and he's going up against one of the greatest callers in the game. It's a tall task to ask this young man.
For years,
Come on.
you ask
Come
PaperX,
on.
who's your IGL? Who's your IGL? They're
Uncommon,
Valorant.
uncommon.
We're all
Uncommon pa
Valorant.
din?
We're doing whatever. But now you ask him, and they're gonna say Forsaken. He has stepped up as a leader through what has been the hardest patch for PaperX. They had a really rough 2024. They missed out on Bangkok, the first ever global event in Southeast Asia, at home for them. But now here they are again with an opportunity and against a guy who's always loved this team.
Exactly. Boser has always been in the side supporting, right? Because we've never seen these two teams playing on a best of 5. So, of course, when the tournament runs deep, I think that we also see in socials throughout the years, how they have such a good
1K,
relationship
1K.
between these two teams, between specifically
Come on.
these two IGLs. I love the fact that we have a Paper Rex that still, throughout the years, has managed to make this style work.
Boaster was a grand finalist for Valorant's first ever global event.
2 minutes.
And he's still here. He's still bringing up new rookie players. You look at Alpha. He was the guy who brought him into Tier 1 in a lot of ways. Made
still
him
uncommon.
the MVP candidate he is today. Now Boaster's here again.
Hindi, uncommon pa din.
Without Mini, those right-hand men he had for his entire run as a leader. And he is still championship caliber. You have to say, if he wins today, there's no contest that he is Valorant's best IGL.
You don't get to this position this many times by mistake.
Oh,
Plain and simple.
No, absolutely. And I think that we have seen his evolution also emotionally. He's lived through every single one of these tournaments. We've seen it at the highest and also at the lowest. So
Come on.
seeing him back here,
Come on.
it speaks volumes about what we say.
It's gonna be incredible. Now today will be the first global finals for our rookies. Let's go ahead and hear what Kayak and Patman had to say to Yinsu, earlier today.
I've now got the super rookies
Oh my gosh,
tournament
mabilis ko.
here with me,
Ang
Patman from
sumakta.
Paper Rex and Kayak from Fnatic. You might have an idea what the other person might be feeling right now because it is both of your first tournaments and you're ready in the final. So I wanted to ask you
Wala
two
talaga.
questions. First of all,
Parang
what does it mean to you
1,500
to make
to.
it already this
Dapat.
early on in your career?
Of course, it's a dream come true. Like before, I'm just watching everyone, and now I'm playing in a grand final. So
Wala, wait.
I feel excited.
And Kayak, you won Ascension, you know, like 9 months ago, and now you're ready in a global final. How does that feel for you?
1,500.
Come on.
Hindi abot
Kulang tayo.
Same as other games, so
No,
no extra
Nico,
pressure, no
please.
anything.
Wait.
No expectations. So
1,300.
hope,
46 seconds.
And of course,
my God,
your-
almost at ako.
the final match, the opponents are very
Oh wait, we
interesting
can
as well. What do
do
you
it.
think
We
about
can
Paper
do
Rex?
it.
I think they are a good
Faster,
opponent.
faster,
I wanted
faster.
to play
Come on.
them like before the grand final, but didn't get a chance.
Wala.
So
We can't.
finally we meet each
Ito na yan.
other, and I think both of the teams
Ito yun.
have much different play styles, so
Kuha pa ako.
it's gonna be a good game.
I hope so too. And what about you, Patman?
Wala na?
I mean, like what he said.
I think di tayo abot.
Both different playstyle. So it's gonna be like playing a chess, I guess. And yeah, it's
Grabe
so
naman,
excited
ang
to
hirap.
face against them because before I'm just watching Boaster do like cool walkouts, and now I'm facing with him. So yeah.
I can't wait to see your walkouts. Thank you very much.
Kaya. Come on. Come
Earlier
on.
round, we asked you
Come
for
on.
MasterCard fan
Bilis.
poll who you
Kaya
thought is going to walk away with the grand finals victory.
Uncommon.
Results are in the community. Says 71.6% for Paper Rex. Mimi, do they finally lift
Be
the
worth
trophy
it.
over their
Be
head?
worth it.
It makes sense for a couple different reasons, right? That this feels like it's just their time.
Levan, di worth
Losing
it?
2 finals
Hirap.
before, being in another one, having a double ban advantage.
Oh.
But still, when you look at this sheet, a lot of us thought Fnatic would
Ay,
win
gagi,
today.
ang dami
And for
nag-ano,
me, a lot of
nagboto sa
that just
kay
goes to the
Fnatic.
tenacity of this lower bracket run, that they've done it already on maps they're not good at. And even with that double ban advantage, I think if this gets deep, if we get to a
Adam,
map 5,
yung
I back
pinipredict nila,
Fnatic in those
Fnatic
high pressure
mananalo.
positions.
And when we look at the record that we were speaking
PRX
about, those
na,
best
panalo.
of fives,
3,
both of the
4,
times that
5.
Paper
Hindi,
Rex
tingnan mo.
made it to the grand
3,
final
4,
was
5,
also
6.
through the upper
Mga
bracket.
talent
And if
prediction,
history
mga
is to
talent
repeat
prediction.
itself, maybe that
7
advantage
na
is
talent
not enough if the
prediction
other team
na
has been
mananalo sa
having
Fnatic.
everything on the
Tapos
line
4
for
lang
so many days.
The
iniisip
first
si
trophy
PRX
that Paper Rex ever
mananalo.
lost was to an EMEA team who went on a
Gets
lower
mo,
bracket
Nico?
run when they came through the uppers.
Oh,
It's a question
gets.
of like Fnatic. 3 years on.
Days.
Grabe.
The first trophy that Paper Rex ever.
And the result.
Thank you very much.
And the results are in the community. Says 71.6%.
Pero sa fans nila, nag-vote sila kay Paper Rex, 71% sila. Ang daming fans na PRX, oh.
Ang dami nga.
For Paper
Parang
Rex.
talo dito ang Fnatic.
Pero ewan ko sa prediction net. Tingnan mga talent prediction daw, 7 ng boto sa kay Fnatic eh. Pero may 4 naman, so which is good. It's a 3 number of
Talent prediction. Para saan yan?
ito yung mga nagpe-predict na sino mananalo. Kaya sabi ko sa'yo, 7 yung predict mananalo yung Fnatic. Or ang predict mananalo yung PRX. Ako, feeling ko mananalo yung PRX.
Feeling ko din.
Teams have much different play styles, so
Si
it's
Pat
gonna be a good game.
2 years in the making, but Paper
Ito na. Ito na. Ito na, Nico.
71 points.
Ito na, Nico.
Almost not enough.
Next yung ano.
Wool yun, wool.
2. It's Paper Rex versus versus
Yan na.
Fnatic. Best of 5 for the trophy. The Masters Toronto Grand Final starts right now.
Late mid lurk as well coming out from Jing. Juicy tries to make something of it. Takes away Forsaken, but the number's still good.
Yung previous match, oh.
It's like one mind together as a team.
Keep moving, boys.
Listen, guys, just play side. People's thought and feeling come together in
friendship
that
part.
moment.
In this though, it's all going a little topsy-turvy.
Last mid. We just play like usual, but there's some pride on the line here.
Together, boys. Together.
Ooh. Oy.
A drag by drag. The final destination is now locked in for PaperX.
I think this moment is really exciting. We barely even made it to playoffs in Pacific, so
May friendship
really proud
part.
of my team.
2 years in the making, but PaperX are finally back in another grand final.
First time I ever made it to grand finals, it was Copenhagen. I mean, of course, we were kind of sad, but at the same time, we were so happy and proud of how far we went. Second time I was in grand finals was Champs LA.
Ah, ito, yung natalo sila. Yung
I
EG.
still remember the feeling of walking past EG and watching them hold up the trophy.
Okay.
Their loss was quite hard on all of us. We thought like we had the
Gagi na,
experience from
umiyak na nga
Copenhagen
sila.
and we would play really well in LA Champs,
Yeah.
but unfortunately
Umiyak
that
na nga
was
sila
not the
nung
case.
after yung taling EG.
After the tournament, everyone received so much love from the fans. That made me really happy as well, and it made me push harder to.
Ano yung grand
play better
finals?
the game.
Oh,
After ng
Just
grand
like us,
finals?
It's been long since
ano
Fnatic
na
has
yung,
been in the grand
as in
finals.
like yung buong mundo,
It's gonna be a great
pagdiban
match.
na. Yung APAC versus yung
It's been a while.
last na
since
yan,
we've been in
last na
the
yung
grand
tournament.
finals, but
Yeah,
now
si
it's good
Crashies.
to be back.
Fnatic bringing out a brand new look.
Tanda ko yung error ni Crashies. Dati.
Di ba yung ano, wala na sila sa MG2. Ano na, last team na mga yan, no? Before champion.
Ah.
Wala nang iba.
Coming to
Last
this day,
final na
have
talaga
already
yan.
3 trophies.
And they sent G2 packing.
Doesn't matter what happened in the past.
One hell of a lower bracket run so far. Nice guy! Let's go!
Grabe.
What matters is the current moment and how you handle it.
And Fnatic Grand Finals now awaits.
This is my first time to have a chance to lift
Oh,
a trophy.
Fatman.
I will remember this moment forever.
Kakapasok lang yun ng VGT team.
If they
Mananalo
try to
agad
beat
siya.
me, I'm gonna show them where I'm from.
This time, I'll be the one lifting the trophy.
We're on my home soil now, so it's time to take over.
He would be the first champion.
Kaya nga,
Diba?
bago pa lang sa roster.
Oh, bago pa lang siya.
With my
Oh.
boys, I know what we're
Tapos ang galing niya na yan. Kaya niya din.
Ano yung lab?
You are all my family. Let's go get that trophy.
Lakas ng Pinoy.
Let's make some bloody noise.
Filipino blood.
Oh.
Get ready to get wrecked. The train is coming.
Oh, the train is coming.
Beben, mag-harvest ulit ako. Mamaya. Avocado. Ay, big mate, avocado.
Oh my gosh, ang ganda ng trophy. What?
What?
Oh!
Toronto! Welcome
Overnet. Nailaw pa oh. Ewan ko kung kulay yan or what. Pero nailaw siya.
are fighting for a place in history to hoist this trophy. So let's introduce our first team. It's Viper
Yeah.
And representing EMEA, the organization.
Wala, nagre-lag.
Let's introduce Fnatic!
Ay, grabe yung sigaw mo. Grabe. Last final na lang yan.
Flex Chronicle!
Yan na!
Ayun na. Parang WWE ah.
WWE Championship.
WWE pero hindi scripted.
Chronicle!
Ayun na.
Crashies.
The IGL!
Uy, grabe, yabang.
Siya pa yung IGL pero mayabang siya, no?
Oo. Sino nga to? Yan yung mayabang eh.
Oh, yan sinasabi ko mayabang yung Fnatic mismo. Mayabang yung Fnatic.
Yeah, mayabang Fnatic. Yan, si Crashes.
Kasi alam ko ano inisip ng Fnatic, yung nilaro ng mental nila, mas mag-work daw yun sa papanalo. Yun yung Fnatic. Pero magaling din sila. Pero pati ano dinadami din yung mental ng kalaban.
Oo.
Ganun.
Para manalo. Like parang tinatouch talk, gano'n.
Parang si Wolves pero mas malala yung Fnatic.
It's the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. It's time for the grand finals.
PaperX, this was not supposed to be their year. They didn't even make it to Bangkok. They started stage 1 wrong, but this train has been on a unbelievable roll all the way to the finals. The question now is only if they can get their first trophy.
Nasa Amerika sila ngayon, no?
Advantage in the veto. PaperX are going to take out the Haven, something that they've been doing the entirety of the tournament, and Ascent, a very good map.
Patrick, man!
Come on, Pat, man.
Showing a different face. Sunset is where things are going to
start.
I'm surprised that Fnatic, even though they've been leaning towards the Lotus, towards the split,
they
decide to go
never mind.
Xbox as their first map pick.
Pero buti yung decider map.
I think the two most even maps in this series for the end. Fnatic though, they need to win on Icebox because Pearl's their Sunset, they've never won on Sunset. They are massively unfavored against PaperX.
They never won on Sunset?
If they win today, I think it has to be a 5-map series.
May Sunset, may map
It's going
na
to be
Sunset.
a very testing the resistance of the team. I think the third one is the one that is the most exciting, and you have a very good point. Fnatic, they probably will suffer in the first half of this veto. But this is what it all comes to. Yes, you've been learning
Pag ako'y kasali dyan, sure win sila.
Men, pag natalo yung PRX, iiyak na ako. Wala nang ipak.
Ay. Tayo pa mo yung ipak. May magkikwit ng ipak. Ay, sa ano, PRX.
Sasabihin nila, ay, napakahina ng ipak. Wow.
PaperX is prioritizing these double duelists.
Magagaling ang ipak.
They're crazy against Fnatic, who is a team of
hindi tayo papayad. Magagaling tayo.
Slow. They try to make every decision perfectly. There could not be teams more opposed in the way that they want to play Valorant facing off in this final.
But you know what's really interesting to me here, girls, is that yes, PaperX have been known
love din naman ko ang aking ano.
And we love the W gaming lifestyle. But one thing that we have seen at this event might be a little cringe. W strategy. We've seen these two teams, but most importantly, PaperX add depth. Exactly, that is the perfect word there. And it came in the form of Patman, but it also came with this squad.
Okay, I'm locking in this stream.
In order for us to hit that next level, this structure, this
kung sino panalo, siya ay pinakamalakas na team sa buong mundo.
Exactly that, and now look at where they are right now.
I think that especially because
alam mo, Big May, pag ako sumali dyan, ako'y panalo.
Individually, fundamentally, they have to be the best because they have to thrive in the chaos that they
kahit mag-isa pa ako.
Ay,
silang
so
sampo.
for that to happen, everybody has to have the right reaction, the right read within the game. And I think that Fnatic are going to struggle, especially and mostly important is not when the round happens, but after a very quick round, if PaperX hits you with another quick round, the downtime, the free round becomes the most important part in the game.
You're getting hit with a jab and a right hook, right after the other, and that is something you do not want to have happen.
And that's where it's going to be difficult, I think. Most of these players, they've been on these stages before. They've
estimated
at least gotten damn close in the case of PaperX. But for two of them, they are brand new rookies.
Oh my gosh,
where this is their first global tournament.
Parang mas maganda ang trophy niyan kaysa
It
dati.
hasn't even been a year since Kayak won Ascension
bagay sa PRX,
in EMEA. It's barely been any longer since we saw Patman lose out on his opportunity to even
Come
go
on,
you're gonna win, don't worry.
Give it to APAC, bro.
This opportunity with
You're gonna win.
Bakit yung 7 prediction ng talents daw sa Fnatic, pero 4 lang sa PRX? Bakit ganun? Hindi ko pa ata napapanood kasi yung laban ng Fnatic. Hindi ko alam kung paano sila maglaro. So maybe magaling talaga sila. Basta isipin mo din, natalo nila si G2, 0-2. Natalo din sila si Sen, 0-2 din. Natalo din yung Wolves, 3-1.
Ay, muntik na sa Wolves kasi ano, they're like throwing and stuff. Baka may discipline sila this one. Kasi syempre, Grand Finals na.
Yeah, we also have seen
Patman
Kayak
fight Viper?
playing with that
Patman?
stage to make
Okay.
it a little bit of lot of impact. I want to see if he's going to be
Si Jing
effective
raised na
then.
naman.
For me,
Forsaken,
one of
Omen.
the flaws or the gaps that I can see in the Paper Rex
Suspected na yun ng enemy. Na ganyan ang pick.
Could be a difference maker in many
Diba?
circumstances, especially when you like playing slow like Fnatic. So on the second half, that's
So,
what I'm looking at
analyze na
outside of
talaga
Paper.
nila
And especially looking
kung
at
paano maglalaro.
Valorant's winningest player. He
Something
is so good
Sova?
at finding those
Something?
targets, finding those gaps.
So, siguro
His
naman.
lurks
Okay
have
naman
been
something
impactful for all the years he's been at the top.
Oh man, you can feel it in
Tapos
the venue
si
here.
CW yung Sage.
It feels as
Okay.
if, you know, this is
Okay,
like
that's
a Super
unexpected.
Bowl
Bakit
type of
Sova
joint
si
right
ano?
now, and I'm all
Si-
about it because
something?
you got these two teams with
I
such
don't think he's
incredible
confident
stories
to-
that have brought us so
Okay,
much
isang
entertainment
duelist,
throughout
okay
the
na.
years. You talk about the 5-year celebration
Ay,
of Valorant
si Kajak,
history.
malakas
These two
yan,
teams
mag-duelist.
have been there practically from the start. So for these guys to be a part of this moment, but also
Tapos si
to be
Alpha J
facing each
malakas
other on a
din.
stage like this, Mimi, in such a fashion,
Magaling
really
din sa
is
aim.
something else.
Pero
It's
si
truly
Kajak
special.
magaling mag-duelist.
Crashies as well. He was there at the beginning.
Ano mas
always
magaling si
one of the
Kajak
best with Optic
Ah.
back in the day.
I mean,
Didn't
siya
even have
lagi
an
ano,
opportunity
consistent
to
nagtatap
even
pa rin.
play in Tier 1
Si
again
Kajak.
after how things went with NRG. Signs with Fnatic, moves to Europe, and now
Si Boaster,
back on another
okay lang,
master
pero ano,
stage
Angel
at
naman
another
kasi
grand
siya.
finals with a completely new roster.
And you know what's really impressive about this Fnatic team for me, Bea, is the fact that this
Pero
squad
siya,
feels
siya yung
calm
ano,
and
tagay
composed
mayabang.
at the
Pinakamayabang si
moment. I feel like
Boaster.
they're relishing
Siya
in
yung
this
pinakamayabang.
Yeah, there's been some moments, right? But I think that they are learning from all of those moments. One of the people that has learned a lot and evolved
Oh
a
my
lot,
gosh,
not
look at
only
their
Kyle that
setup.
we're seeing here,
Ba't ang
and how
ano?
exponential he's run through
Grabe,
Valorant
yung
is
keyboard
also
na
a lot.
naka
The
ano
way that he
talaga.
controls mid on this map, if he is able
keyboard
to
di
make
parang
a difference
ano.
from map 1, it is not a good prediction for
Tak
Paper
na
Rex.
tak in.
And that's what it's all about right there. The trophy. And for this
Ay, kay
young
Jing
man,
simply.
Ang weird nila maglaro.
for so
Kay Jing
long
simply lang
in his
yan.
career, even the other guy to his right there, Forsaken, now putting himself in a position to lead
Oy,
the team
tagayo ka
to
na.
victory. But
Leave
folks,
me
the
alone.
moment
I'm
is
excited,
finally here,
actually.
and the trophy is within
Nico,
reach. Let's get the grand final started and send it over to do the greatest of all
Nico,
time.
di ako
It's
makatulog.
Grand and Sideshow.
Paano pag nadalo ang player?
GB, but there is energy here in
Ano,
this
quit
arena
Valo.
today. We have two
Valo.
titans of the sport, to be honest.
Hindi pala malakas eh. Pag
since
ganun.
the beginning, and they are battling tooth and nail now for a chance. Paper Rex, they've had many chances in the past, but now is another
Ba't ganun?
one
Paiba-iba
in front
ang
of them,
kas.
and they are going to want to grip it, but they are up against a Fnatic,
Ganun talaga.
unstoppable all the way throughout that lower bracket. Look at the card
Sana magaling
themselves
din
to the
yung
history
kas.
books a little bit
Nag-hype.
deeper.
It's the team
Magaling yan
that
for
has
sure.
a strong claim
Grand
as
finals
best
kasi.
of all time up
They'll
against
pick the best
team
cast.
that's never won. And there are many squads out there that would love to have as many chances as Paper
Paper
Rex
Rex
have
naman,
had at
ganyan.
the
Oh!
trophy.
They
And
look
Paper Rex,
serious.
every time it seems to slip through their grasp. This feels like the moment. Coming through the upper bracket, double map fan advantage. In some
Na
sense,
mag-start na?
it's Paper Rex's trophy to
Ayun
lose
na.
there in the middle between
Oh,
these two
5
teams.
5, 4,
Are going to
3,
be scrapping
2,
for every inch that
1.
starts here on
Come on.
Sunset. A map
Come on.
that Fnatic are forced to
I'm
play.
locking in.
All steady for now. Paper Rex, nice and grouped up.
Viper so expected.
Contact plays. Hoping that they
Up,
can
he gone back.
another
He
wet
knew.
player
He knew.
Fnatic.
He knew.
All playing A for retake.
Chronicle.
It's a confident start, taking this kind of risk.
We gone back?
Could well run into somebody holding a one and done, but they're relying on the fact that Fnatic love to play for
Okay.
retake in these situations.
That's so much util save for Paper Rex. They're going to get themselves into the post here, but bodies are already standing.
They got the site
Get over
for
towards
free.
That A site. Fnatic.
Kasi they can retake.
5 plays here, double flank occurring.
Oh, wait,
Something
what?
has to be the stopping
Sova?
player in emotion and already
Something?
trying to take a fight straight
Okay.
through spawn.
Something
Nate
is dead.
sailing up and overhead through main though, and he plays getting squeezed.
I told you.
Crashes. It's already drawn blood. Fnatic are going to be hoping
Daming
that
error
it's
na.
first to many, but
Dami
it's
ko
a
ng
slow
error
as
na
well, just to
nakikita.
slow
Ganda ng
the
pasok
approach.
ng
Just for now,
ng
it's
Fnatic.
tepid.
Oh shit.
Cautious, being played. Fnatic know that they have plenty
Dami
of
ng
time to
error,
work with here.
oh.
There's a time potentially missed again.
Nakapost
He
sila.
jumps upon Alfia from the side, sticking all the way. Crashes.
I hit it. Oh my god.
Fnatic lay claim to the opening pistol.
Ay,
A
yabang.
slow siege upon the A site there.
Ilipat
from
lang ako
both
sa
teams,
headphones
actually.
para
Fnatic
hype.
back into the retake. Managed to navigate all of that post-plant util. And the squeeze really came down onto something. He had to hold 2 players off
No.
the flank and then got caught by that recon.
Nico.
Lipat ako sa
With a
headphones.
very important round.
Nico.
Come on, man! Come on!
Nico.
And the Viper Orb set up there for the
Nico.
retake as well.
I'm
From
crying.
Chronicle, just allowing
Lumipat ako sa
Fnatic to be able to
headphones.
get back in.
Para hype.
A nice idea
Nico,
from
I'm crying,
Paper X. I think you can see both teams have a good
You're
understanding.
crying. First round pa lang.
And here, looking like there might potentially be a crunch play in B.
Oh my
Boaster's
God.
got a paranoia he could go for.
Cycling through the util.
Oh,
Hunting for
divide.
heads. Not find too much.
What are the
Paper X
odds?
not far
Matuto
behind.
0 dito ang PRX.
Rattling a few shots of their own here.
No.
Good time
Don't
to talk
jinx.
about, I think, some of the expectations of players.
Kapangit pa
I think,
naman
so
ng map.
far, but Fnatic are stacked with storyline.
Alam mo,
talent. It's all there.
Hindi
Plenty
sila
of players looking to
confident sa Sunset.
get their hands on that trophy, lift it, add another one to the tally perhaps for some of them. Chronicle, one of our most storied players of all time.
And Alfia as well, who's making a run towards MVP at this event. I think might be the first contact against these eco players. He's able to challenge a bit more aggressively.
It's a paranoia to try and set him up. Aggression called for, looking to try and crunch these Paper X players in their place. Well, the Alpha's taking liberties. This is a guy that has been let loose, unleashed, an MVP candidate. Of course, he can take these risks with just a pistol in hand. He's not going to be offering up any sort of guns here.
30 seconds left. Spike
Death by
down
1,000
A.
cuts. Paper X are
enemy
feeling right now.
And another really solid hold on.
No.
Paper X not doing anything too crazy just yet. We know that this is a team that can turn up the tempo massively, but early on here on Sunset, playing for all maximization, playing to slowly contact into areas and try to figure out what this Fnatic defense looks like. The more you contact, the more important people like Althea and his utility become. And Crashies, the drone, the recon,
Wag kang
Alpha's
mag-alala.
trips and Cam. And this
Ano yan?
round, expecting a B-pop,
Feeling ko
Boaster's got the
inaalis pa
troops in
nila.
position to defend
Ganun
on B.
naman yung
4
ginagawa
players
nila
down
lagi.
from Fnatic.
All stacked up. Crashies, the lone defender towards A, full confidence in the retake, and Kayak gone wandering, lurking up through mid. He's going to be getting a lot of information.
This is a really nice timing, and Paper X, one of the only things they do wrong is clearing
Oh my
these
God.
kind of spots.
Munti ka na.
Missed shot.
Ano na, inch na lang eh.
Good information though for the
Fatman?
attackers. And
Fatman?
Crashies.
Fatman!
No!
What a challenge to take.
He might think though that that's the only lurk player. It's difficult to expect the other 4 stacked up behind, but Kayak has read it.
And here comes the pincer. Here comes the crunch. Kayak instantly domes 2. Paper X are left reeling on their buy round. Fnatic maintaining discipline.
They're really losing.
Composure that sailed them all the
mas
way
lamang
through
yung
here.
nila.
Rifles. It's going to have to be raw heroics to see if he can stand a chance in this one. Paper X none the wiser. Lurks on lurks. Alpha here dropping
Spike
Divine
down
and a
A.
spike in their laps. It's inevitable at this point.
Jing's got an impossible task ahead of him, a 1v4 stuck in elbow. Even if he tried to save, it's not going to work. 30 seconds, spike abandoned. Fnatic can put the squeeze on. They'd
Ano
love
yung
to get
chinucho
another
nila?
rifle on board and deny it away from Paper X.
It's all
Jing,
percentage.
he can't
Ano yung
even get
chinucho
one.
nila?
What a beautiful round from Fnatic,
Chinucho?
Brennan. A couple of strategic things as
Chinucho.
well for this EMEA
But
team.
tuwing
Looking strong early.
parang may nakikita
One
ko
of which is
nagbabalo, laging may
Kayak is
nagchuchu.
feeling
Ayun, no?
confident enough to go for
Basta
that
may
kind of
chuchu.
play in round 3. This is a rookie player coming
Parang
in
nga,
having just won Ascension.
nagchuchu.
He's played fantastic
Yung mouth
inside
nila.
EMEA in stage 1. But to be able to do that
Chinucho
in
nila
your
yung
first
mouth nila.
global event, in your first
Ah.
grand finals, that is confident. That's what you need. And the other part
Bakit
too is
kaya?
they're stressing the flank. Paper X don't have a Cypher, they don't have a Vice, they don't have any
Ayan.
ability to watch the flank with
Okay.
some kind of
Time
piece of
out.
util. And already after round 3, Alex
Wala
is
na,
calling a
mid-mid.
timeout. This is a
Wait lang, wala ka to.
worrying sign for Paper X, considering that this is the map that arguably they're the most favored on. That's why they've taken us here first.
And there's all that talk about, listen, the double map advantage. Fnatic don't have a deep map
Time out nga
pool.
agad.
Let me tell you, when you get to grand finals, when you get into that best of 5
Dinidestroy.
forget the strategy, the experience plays the biggest difference. Fnatic have that in
Kasi
spades.
ito yung
You
worst
can make
map
the same
nila, no?
argument for Paper X, but they've never done it.
Pero
They've
natalo
never
nila yung
lifted a
Zen.
trophy themselves
Right,
before.
worst map.
They've come close.
Di ba
They've
natalo
always
nila yung Zen
missed
dito?
the mark. It's one of the things that's
natalo
going to be
yung Zen.
circling around their heads.
But if you
Ah,
think
close.
all
Oh,
the way back
ano.
to Copenhagen,
Close match, man.
The final map,
Well,
as far as I
right.
can remember, they threw a crazy composition out there as well. They're playing Yoru Breach on Breeze, which is just, I mean, even in the current Yoru Breach
I feel
era,
like-
is a bit of a mad
Kaya
idea
nila
to
to pinili.
comprehend.
I feel
They
like
were always happy to go in and throw the punches
dati
and see
nagchuchoke
what
sila,
landed.
na ngayon parang naging
Whereas
opposite
Fnatic,
na.
I
I
think,
just
are
had
going
a
to be coming
feeling.
into a game like this with heavy ideas and strategy
daw siya
and ways of anti-strike and breaking down what Paper Rex have got in store.
Parang
nag-improve na.
Especially on maps
parang
like
naging
Eagle coming
opposite
early,
na
like here on Sunset.
Di ba kasi ganyan din dating
Outlaws
yung score nila pala.
thrive in this
Just
setting.
comeback.
See your players on half armor. The dart immediately dealt with. Kayak
Wait lang.
is safe.
Never a worry, never a doubt that that recon was going to get broken. Crash, he's always had that.
Alam nila meron dito.
Forsaken, yes, risky business, but again, risks have to be taken when you're down like this. Paper Rex
No.
want to increase the tempo, increase the heat.
Oh, alam niya.
Take control out towards the market
Nag-back
already.
siya.
Stray shots.
Stop
No
it.
damage, and need a couple more where that comes from. And now putting in
Nice.
the crunch.
Out of trades.
Now they crumble towards it, but there's rifles in the hands of Chronicle, and he's
sorry.
taking this one. Oh, spotted. Still
Ayun lang.
number one.
Nag-smoke si Forsaken noong time na yun.
Althea gonna have to be a hero here, coming back through market.
Ay, gagi.
Paper
Yung
Rex
dalawa pa
done a great
magaling.
job of getting back into this
Natira.
round.
Tabi ka sa akin, kuya.
Serious squeeze on the Boaster, he just couldn't hold up to the pressure.
Nanonood ka sa kabila. Oh! May kasama ko.
Damage towards the end of this one. Alfie has left it down to the 1v1. Forsaken. Alpha
No!
just dominates it.
Huge kill off screen as well. The Turkish aim comes through
Forsaken.
and saves Fnatic in a situation where things got sticky. Light weaponry, only stingers out for Paper Rex, but they're still down 0 and 4. Interesting moment.
Daming error.
That Boaster threw a counter paranoia to try to keep players back in market. Patman just ran through, just kept running
Daming error.
forwards.
They're throwing.
Living and
Nagtuthrow
breathing
sila.
by the W gaming, and it did put Boaster
Kita mo
and
si
Crashes in a
Neon?
tough spot that Alpha had to recover.
Come on, let's go.
Gagi. Dalawa pa na
A
tayo
4 lead, and now
malakas.
Kayak has the funds to be able to bring out the off.
Yung
He is
Kajak,
alone
ayun o.
though on the A side
Kajak
here.
pati Selfire.
Take a look at this guy. Doesn't really have the most
Ganda ng
support in the
score
world.
nila.
Crashes is going to come to get his back like he did in B main early. But Paper Rex have the util to push
Sure
him
ka?
off.
Wall in your face too, and he hears it. Footsteps around, trying to take that one into
Oh.
the angle, but there's a rocket
Yes!
in your face.
Come on.
You turn
Come on,
to the
Jig.
pick miss in a moment's notice here. Crashes.
Oh, he's dead.
He's
Crash is
stuck,
dead.
isolated, skipping, hopping, trying
Swerte
to
naman.
survive.
If
Poster.
Jig had thrown an aid in there, then surely he would have been dead, but
Crashes
instead
forward.
focusing on taking the site.
Crashes forward. He's already taken the timing against them, and he's trying to take it forwards fast and loose. Is the play. Wall into the back of the site though. It's all being contained in that flank again. Thrown close. No coverage inside, but Bosa's there
Ay.
to respond.
Yeah, it's one part, man.
Only expecting the
Back
one.
ka, sige.
He's already
Baka lang.
jumped away.
2v4, it's
Boaster
off.
and Alpha.
Either
Do it all.
to throw na to.
Finally, Alpha reveals his hand. Look at the wrist. The hat goes out. It's going to be good information. Hammered up.
Pag natalo sila,
Rebounding.
it's a GG.
The time is going to start ticking soon enough. Paper Rex
They're gonna lose,
still a bit
bro.
more disciplined. Looking to try and play this one together now.
Pag natalo sila, it's a
First
GG.
target.
Nice.
Okay.
First target down. Boaster's gone.
Okay.
Alpha
Oh.
is next.
Fatman, nice.
So Paper Rex.
Let's go.
They
Let's
do
go,
show up. They
kuya.
Get that round on the
Go.
board. A critical one at that.
PRX ka.
A little bit of a late awakening here on the stage, but
Siyempre,
nice to see
PRX.
the Paper Rex have got what it takes
Ayun,
from
Mas
the
magaling ang
board. Slight mechanical error there.
Ay, maganda
Kayak
ginawa
at
ni
the very
Jing doon.
beginning.
Yung raise.
Had a shot actually on the Divide. I think he caught it dead to rights, but just got off the angle at the wrong moment. Chose to scope back up, and that cost him his life.
Nice one.
Di ba PRX din? Dinestroy yung Wolves?
And now Kayak's,
Na?
Pero dinestroy
now
ng...
Kayak's going to have to play with his Neon Ultimate. Already invested pretty heavily economically in the previous round. And now Paper Rex going into the Cypher setup.
Come on.
That tucked around. It's an instant drone and walking.
Oh, sayang.
out through mid.
Na-timingan.
To contain it. It's missed the
Oh!
turret.
Oh,
Sayang.
no.
Already slipped straight
Oh, no.
past.
Oh, no.
It could
Kayak.
go worse.
Fatman,
He's going
don't
to hear
know.
some damage. Oh, surely
No.
he is.
No!
Yes.
Malalaman nila may
Tip
mag-lurk
tap of the
ng likod.
footsteps, and he
Not
buys
gonna
his
lie.
time by
Kaya
the
iniisip na
into
ni
the
Chamber, oh.
optimize, shuts him down, but up
Nice one, Fatman!
it's Patman. Straight up the gut, instant res as well. It's going to be undoing that damage.
And
It's dealt a little bit earlier.
a massive gap in mid here, Brent. Forsaken.
Yes!
Patman as well. They
They're doing
cut a
great.
swat straight
See?
through the middle of this Fnatic defense. Just rotating
Ay,
through.
God.
Chronicles
Okay,
left to pick up the pieces and
wag kayo
wonder
mag-
what the hell happened to this defense macro.
Nice. Sova?
Paper Rex were all gathered up towards A,
Sayang.
and yet still
Di niya alam.
found that perfect
No info.
timing. And this is
Siguro
really going
inisip
to
niya
hurt
baka-
Maganda,
or start to put
I
the
think
hurt
if a
on the
flank
Fnatic
niya
ego
sana.
too.
Oh!
Something in Chronicle. Shoulder to shoulder.
Oh,
Spots
kita.
on the barrel, so handed a freebie.
But just going for the
Magsisave
save
to.
here.
They're broke.
Paper Rex got good value out of
Yeah,
that
right.
res.
Alam nila. So
Able to
lalabanan.
undo all of the good work that Kayak had done with his tiles push. And again, I just want to stress how much Fnatic are going for these mid pushes and these flanks. They're really trying to abuse.
Okay.
Feels like the
Nakikita ko yung ginagawa ng
so
Fnatic,
far
actually.
is trying to abuse the fact
Since
that
alam nila
PaperX
yung
do not
PRX,
have that
nag-aggro
cipher in
sila.
their composition.
Nakita mo,
Trying to get
nagbabak
the
sila.
flanks going for
Ganun,
the A
parang
retake.
chill lang muna.
Something that
Tapos
Boaster
play
loves to do
together.
when we've seen him call in the past on maps like
Hinintay
Haven,
nila
for example,
kung
against the Sentinel and
yung
Wisconsin.
timing when it's right.
But this time just missed that timing.
Something ginagawa nila ganun. Depending sa ginagamit nilang
utils. PaperX sometimes because they do take unorthodox timings. They're willing to take a bit more risk.
Wala.
Kaya nag-save mo.
Parang sila
broke kasi siya.
Back-to-back rounds.
Buti na, grabe. Buti na patay
si Divide.
Buti na patay yung kaya abon na call.
Bilis, no?
Oh.
Too easy, guys. Come on.
On the A site that round.
Alam naman yata niya yung ginagawa.
So not using any of it for top mid information, except for this cam, which is going to be able to see feet as you walk up mid.
Momentum, yes.
But if Alpha's not tapping it regularly, then Patman could still find a timing.
A real switch up as well from the game plan of PaperX.
No, they're really focused on this A pressure, trying to get big value out of Patman's utility, even if it's not actually Patman who's there taking the space.
Oh, getting info. Getting info.
Trying to hide their intent.
Very slow so far on the attack side for PaperX too, isn't it? Really trying to mess with expectations.
This doesn't clear. Kai was sat nice and pretty.
He pushed that.
Patman none the wiser. Thought he caught timing there.
Na siya. Kasi alam nila lurker si Patman.
Paranoia is going to be sweeping forward. It's going to be blinding up Alpha. Nade rebounding. We'll have to respect it. Market control. PaperX is for now, and Sina Hunter's furious and there's signs of life. That's from afar. Crashes. We're going to supplement it, trying to put a stop to this one. But PaperX,
nice.
they're denying that momentum they've got.
Oh,
this train is not stopping. Not here. Not now.
They're good aimers.
They barreled through. Unconventional pathing there for PaperX. Didn't send anyone through B-main. And Fnatic were left wondering.
I think alam ko na bakit niya ginawa ni Patman.
As the wall came down over towards Boba,
expected na
slicing
to.
off the defenders on
Itong
site.
na to.
Chronicle didn't know which way to look. Very
no, he's gonna
much
save again.
An adaptation.
Yeah, they're broke.
In terms of how they're approaching this one. The game plan coming from Alex, maybe even coming from Mini too. Remember that former Fnatic head coach is now doing assistant coaching for this squad. But the game plan appears to be slower and more deathball-y. They're not trying to split. They're just trying to stay together and take out Fnatic piece by piece on rounds like this. If they haven't had the success over towards Elbow, then working through Market and up to Boba was wondrous there. This is now 3 rounds in a row for PaperX. Trying out a really
get that score.
Unconventional,
get that score back.
Slow pace to their game.
Di ba no? Dati
hindi naman ganyan yung PRX. It's gonna catch Fnatic off guard.
Parang
malito ni Patman.
It's the thing with PaperX.
Palito siya kay Patman.
Reaching new heights and evolution for this team now. A little bit more of that nuance that's available to them. The slower play, working the map on their attack sides.
And I think they have to. If you play that undisciplined W gaming style, the one where it's not so refined, I think Fnatic eat that up all day long. They're a disciplined team. They love absorbing aggression. That old PaperX style just simply wouldn't work, I don't think. They have beaten them before. It's one-on-one between these two teams, so I'm not saying it can't ever work, but I don't think it was the right idea to go into this game with. But in this tournament, we've seen a better
PRX na ngayon si Mini.
Willing to pump the brakes and play with a little bit of discipline in the mid-round.
Yung head coach ng PRX dati.
They've still got that killer instinct. They're just willing to temper it. It's now Fnatic who are going to have to take a time out of their own. The newer coaching staff who've had so much success with this roster, looking to add their input into things. And I would say now's the time to try to hit something quick. If you're PaperX, if you wanted to change up the tempo at any point in this game, coming out of your opponent's timeout, that's one of the best opportunities for you. It is going to be a bit of a half-by round for Fnatic. Kayak with a Glass Cannon Guardian, a Stinger, and a Sheriff around the place. So maybe PaperX will play with patience in this one and turn up the tempo for the next. Early B main, though, is already a little bit different.
Spread out. Control, one away from some big ults as well. Jing. Looking forward to that showstopper.
Oh, this is risky, Jing.
Again, it's just poking out. Now spotted here with a
Jing,
snake
stop.
bite rebounding. Ricochet and Chronicle looking to try and slow them down. Her body's behind this one. It's a delayed hit. Jutting smoke. You got to be careful of this one. Alpha inside it, trying to sidestep straight towards it. Something just dismisses him. And Jing already taken up that timing. Slips into the gap and finding his mark. Boaster.
Oh, wait, did he jump?
A bit of running gun.
Sayang.
Backside control is still there for
Oh,
4v2?
140.
Man down now
Ay,
with
shit,
HyperX.
4v1?
Ay, phantom kasi.
Just the front. They want the entirety of this map.
Oh, cross game. Cross game.
Really good adjustment there as well.
Ay, nakahabol na sila.
Alpha, a little unfortunate, does
they're
hit
doing
the
great.
140 with the Phantom. You see there the aim punch on something. And Alpha moves away thinking that he's already got the kill as Crosshair resetting onto the next target before even confirming that something had hit the deck.
Kumakanta.
And after a 0-4 beginning to this map, it feels like Paper
Dami
X
nanonood.
back.
151.
They've tied up the game. And going into this,
1,000.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Kayak once more picking up the operator, and still a slow beginning actually for Paper X. Really not trying
Nyari,
to challenge
ba't ka
early
tumawa,
on.
kuya?
It's been more about contact.
Join ka, VC.
And then the question becomes who's actually holding the contact for
Join ka,
Fnatic,
VC.
because often they're playing really passive lines. And here you just see Boaster jiggling and Kayak holding elbow.
Why did he?
Operator in hand, one of the best tools
Okay,
for the job, but
that flash did
inside
nothing.
alive, Jing. That's his cue to go. Sending
Ay,
it, ricocheting
sayang.
against the wall. That's no damage done to Boaster. Is he going to draw that blood?
Ay.
Just trying to wrangle control of the rifle.
Nice,
Cards been overwhelmed. Paper X.
That flash did nothing.
Crack
I
open the
swear.
A site. Crack heads while they're at it. Jing, not content
Boom.
with just a few.
Oh.
Device steals them
Wow.
right from his sight line.
Anong flash? What kind of flash?
A huge round and
Ah,
the defense
magsisave na naman
collapses
to.
again from Fnatic.
What kind of
Kayak
flash?
had to hit that shot. He put himself on
Nag-flash
such
siya ng
an
super
aggressive
early.
Right
That
from
did
his
nothing.
sight line.
Wala.
Steals them.
Ano yun?
Balik ka. Sa una,
Right from his
unang
sight
start ng
line.
round. Pinaka-start
Against the
ng
wall.
round.
That's no damage done to Boaster.
Balik pa. Yan dun.
Kayak once
Yeah,
more
yeah.
picking up the operator, and still
Tama,
a slow
magpa-flash
beginning
siya.
actually for Paper X. Really not trying to challenge early on. It's been
Wala
more
naman siya
about
info. Ba't
contacting.
siya nag-flash dun?
And then the question becomes who's actually holding the
nag-flash
more
siya.
picking up the operator, and still
This
a slow
is- di ba
beginning
smoke
actually for
yun?
Paper X. Really not
nag-flash
trying to
siya.
challenge
Tama.
early on. It's been
Ito,
more about
ito.
contacting. And then the question becomes who's
Nag-flash
actually
siya si
holding the
Omen.
contact for Fnatic, because often they're playing
Yan na.
really
Yung
passive
kalaban?
lines.
Ah,
Here you just see
Boaster.
Boaster jiggling.
Kayak.
Kayak
Oh,
holding
that flash
elbow.
did nothing.
Operator in hand, one of the best tools for the job.
Oo nga no,
Seeing
it makes,
signs of life.
minid lang.
It makes no sense.
Nakulang info dahil doon.
Oh. Kung ka-flash ka, wala ka namang ka-info.
They can be better call them than fan favorites.
Gawin si Divay.
Nauna pa si
Smiles
Divine.
here.
That's why I was saying
Nakita ko yung
yesterday, I
set.
really feel like
Ba't nila
Fnatic are gonna be the
ni-mute
villains of this
agad
story.
yung
They've set
settings?
themselves up as the
Ano
barrier
yung habit?
between Paper X
Di ko-
and the
di ko rin
trophy
alam.
that's always one step out of reach. You have to go through a team that's managed to do it back to back, but at the moment, Paper X have picked themselves up after a bad
Smart naman,
start and have been pretty much flawless since then.
The early timeout has worked wonders.
Kayak once more getting into this deep position, willing to take a bit of a gamble here, tucked himself down behind this box in mid. Last time, didn't find too much value from it.
Deep pushes are everywhere on the map. Fnatic. There's Boasters out through A main, down through mid. Getting a good idea now. This is going to be landing over towards B. Chronicle tucked to the corner. He's going to be feeling that heat. Takes the peak.
Patay.
Dealing with these players out towards the extremities, but not through bottom mid. Instant res.
Nice one.
Forsaken brought back into the fold. Crashes.
Oh my god.
Can't control that Guardian in time.
Something.
Feeling that heat, and that
nag-jump
stun
siya.
does good connection. Kayak.
Nice.
Bulok naman yung si Kaya.
Alpha dominates market. This putting a bit of fear now into the step of Paper X.
Oh, yung dalawang magagaling na naman.
But
Ay, magaling naman tong dalawa.
Forsaken and
Si
need to
Divine
come
at saka
up with a
si
plan here,
Forsaken.
Dealing with things, suddenly though, they split apart, trying to get on either side of the neon wall.
Pagalingan na lang to.
So Kayak may be the target. Feels like Paper
Stop.
X need to take
Divide.
the fight into one of these guys on Fnatic.
Sitting ducks right now.
Divide.
Oh
Goals.
no. Shot
We're
to the
better.
dome that will do him in. Kayak
Papasok yan. 3,
Gotta do it in a
2,
1v2.
1, go.
biding his time in through the smoke, waiting for something to fade.
3, 2, 1, go.
Eventually there. Barrow sticking out though, and a 3-2 face from Paper X.
Yes,
Grabs
yes.
a 2-round lead.
Kasing galingan, let's
Even
go.
when things are looking tricky, they've got a game plan, they've got the right micro calls. And that honestly was quite passive too.
Nakapatay pa din siya doon.
Towards the end.
Grabe.
Like to see him get back in that more confident way. Although what he was doing in the mid round was nice to be able to crack open B main. Alpha wins one hugely important duel against Jing, but couldn't overcome Divide, who's took the scoreboard 10 and 5.
Grabe.
Yabang.
Come on. Okay lang.
Filipino Vlad.
Setup. HyperX not changing things
Nah.
up. Did they expect Kayak is going to be tagged?
Ay! Okay!
Oh, just the aim crashes.
Kaso na-trade.
Now the heat and the pressure is going to be
Ayan.
turned up onto Alpha. He steps forward.
Nice naman nun.
Coming his way. That's a Hunter's Fury
Oh.
into the back of the site. Alpha trying to capitalize off this chaos. Moving forward, sidestepping, crashes. Indomitable from
You
his
had the
spot.
spike.
Drops Divide, drops the spike, manages to sidestep the Hunter's Fury in the meantime
Alam ni
too, but they
Viper
know
na
where
ano,
Alpha
may
is,
maglalik.
and it's tough to really support him.
Nice for a second.
Rifle in hand. Trying to lead the march forwards, and the spike
58 seconds.
potentially retrievable,
Don't worry.
but Fnatic have eyes on it.
Yeah, Bo's
May
has
time
done
sila
a great
mag-isip.
job here
May time
actually.
sila
Again,
mag-isip.
nice, beefed the movement there. Was just trying to get on top of the box.
They can
He was
think.
in a spot where he could
tinatry niya
support
tumaas
Crashes,
sa
and
wall.
now there's a dangerous timing until this wall breaks, but it looks like it's just about to expire, and he's been
40
saved for
seconds.
that.
Think, guys.
3v3, and Forsaken with an Omen ult means that this spike isn't really in enemy territory at all.
Part of the reason why Chronicle hasn't
Okay,
rotated.
nice. No. Well, pala
Picks
siya.
it up, slow it down. Paper
Oh!
30 seconds
Smart.
to work
Pero
with here.
ano,
And
di
what a
sila na
call.
ano.
He's calling to go back into the same site, trying to fake out the idea he would have left.
20 left poster. Watchful eye smoke dissipate. Too many targets. Too much to deal with. Crashes. It's all on him.
Patay ka.
Tries to buy time, but a bullet to the top.
Oy, grabe.
But a bullet to the
Bilis.
temple.
Okay.
Chronicles left in that 1v2.
This situation, though, finally winnable for Chronicle, an opportunity for impact.
Unwinnable.
Looking for an easy fight first. The first most spots it out. Snake
Nakita niya?
fight.
Ah,
No
nakita niya.
rebound necessary, but doesn't really
Even the
connect something.
slightest kita niya. Wow.
Sits it down, fight was picked. Thought about committed. Let loose entirely.
Fuck. Shit.
And the bullets are raining down on him now.
Unwinnable?
Time ticking away.
Unwinnable.
Spraying away. Chronicles hoping, praying. Hoping that Paybreaks will give
Never
him
mind.
absolutely anything to
Oy!
reload. And run
Oh!
forward for
Oh!
Seiken.
Okay.
Di siya close
Knocks
match.
him out.
Oh, natalo na. Natayo na.
7 rounds
Hindi,
in a row
kinifist
for
bomb niya si...
Paper X
Ganun si
here.
first second eh. Finifist bomb niya pero di niya tinatayo yung
Fnatic
kalaban.
just making too many
Tumatayo
mistakes
siya
on the
para
defense
i-fist bomb.
side. Kayak kind of
Ganun
wins
si
a little
first
bit in
second.
this opener, doesn't land a single
Pero hindi siya
bullet on
nagtatrash talk.
Jing.
Hindi.
And then Boaster chooses the worst time to drop from high ground to low ground.
Tumayo siya para mag-fist
As
bomb.
this smoke dissipates, he's choosing to walk forward.
Tingnan
So
natin.
accurate to hold
Tingnan
that
ginawa
smoke
ko.
as it leaves
Saan
the
siya?
Paper X players in the open. Small errors
Come on.
and a massive comeback in this half from Paper X.
Well, it's all the way back off the side.
Asan na
that
yung
time.
mga, ano,
Forsaken as well, picking
yung mga
up an
nagboto
attack.
sa Fnatic
He's
ng
got the money to
prediction.
just go for a rifle afterwards.
Diyan lang.
Just
Too early
watching
yan.
mid.
Too early.
Masyadong magaling ang
And a little
PRX.
pacier perhaps, going for a B-pop here.
Yeah, Fnatic hard, disrespecting no deep push out
Simula
towards A
nag-join
main, so they've got
Batman.
the information, they know what's up.
Jing one away from a showstopper, but choosing not really to go heavily
dalawa.
prioritizing it. Instead, looking to try to clear the flank. They know this has been happening.
Game of timings. Kayak drifted in and out. It's Batman who falls. Something is
Ayan lang.
next. Fnatic, full control towards it. There's a paranoia in your faces, and they're going to be disengaging.
Best opportunity for
5-7.
Fnatic to snag around since the
Good job,
first four.
5-7.
Oh, ego pick.
Leaving Paper X to stew.
And Paper X thought it was a mid push, realized it wasn't, so now they're exploring mid themselves.
In the shoulder. Forsaken, that is a ballsy TP. A wide
Yeah,
off angle
smoke.
played.
Could be on Kayak here.
Forsaken.
Could be on Kayak over towards A. You see Jing is making his way towards it, but all three players on Paper X trying to make their own individual timing play.
Forsaken,
Oh.
extra one. Can I catch the next?
Oh.
Crashes!
Forsaken.
Topples! The court access towards it, but still, it's B main control for Fnatic. It should be in a
Ang
good
ganda ng
spot
wall.
for it.
Ganda.
Site needs to be cleared out here. In through the back of the side, it's going to be that plant.
10 seconds left.
Watchful eye on wall on a bit as the curtain drops.
Forsaken?
So does Alpha. Rocket to your
Oh
feet.
my gosh.
Cannot
Oh my god.
Stop
Ang
this
galing.
team. When Paper X get going, there's no denying them. A Kayak.
Ang galing.
Try
Man.
everything.
Oh my gosh. Ang
But
galing.
8-4 is where we leave it.
Bro,
Nasa yabang yun? Nasa yabang yun?
Hindi, alam, si Boss, alam mo, ano,
a 3v5 that they turn around with a brilliant
nag-ano sila eh.
Again,
alam pag natalo sila, natalo yung Sen pati G2. Alam mo ginawa ni Boaster?
Forsaken looks amazing here. He's even
Alam mo ginawa? Ano, nagpa-Fortnite dance siya, Fortnite dance.
Unreal scenes so far.
Ay,
tapos yung nung natalo nila yung Sen, after natalo nila yung Sen, alam mo yung logo ng Sen? Literally, nilagay yung Sen ng logo sa trash bag.
I am delighted
Ay,
to be
tas,
joined by the
binaksak niya.
Riot
Meron
CEO,
scene na ganun.
Dylan Jadeja here. Now, Toronto has been such a fantastic host city. Welcome back, by the way. Wanted to ask you, how are you finding the event, and also, what have you been up to?
I gotta tell you, this is such an incredible city. It's home for me. I grew
CEO
up in
ng
Brampton,
Riot Games.
so it's really special.
Ay, grabe.
Yeah, that's right. It's really special to walk the streets of Toronto and see people wearing the Val logo and to be a part of this community. You guys bring such incredible energy to this event. It means so much to us. This is one of the greatest cities in the world, and so to have the opportunity to showcase this to all of our players around the world, that's great. I also would be remiss if I didn't take a second to say thank you to all the players here, to all the players who are watching this online, to the co-streamers and the influencers. You guys make it possible for us to bring this event to our players. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I got the chance yesterday, by the way, to go back to Brampton. The food is the best in Canada, I just gotta say. So.
I completely agree. Now, it's made it even more special by the fact Valorant just celebrated its 5th birthday. I remember being there when the game came out, so I wanted to ask you if you could maybe reflect and tell us what it was like on, on launch day.
We launched Valorant in the middle of the pandemic with no real perspective on how well it would be loved by players. We knew we had built something that would serve the needs of an audience that cared deeply about a tax shooter. And we thought we had nailed that, but when you launch it in the pandemic, you never know how it's going to play out. And then we didn't know how we were going to serve the game. We were working from home. So we shipped this from people's living rooms. And it wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for this community. It's been inspiring and humbling to have this be co-created by such passionate players. So we're very, very fortunate and very blessed to have this community build this game with us.
Thank you so much. And also, PaperX might lift their first trophy in 5 years as well. So let's jump back in the game and see if they can close this out.
We're going to see how this first map all shakes out. Time's already ticking. These players are eager to get back into the fight between each other. Fnatic and PaperX.
What an end to that half, though, for PaperX. I mean, if there was any team with momentum here, it would be them. Take a look at the Coinbase Econ report and see if you can pick out a player for PaperX that would be looking to try to invest heavily in the defense half. This is not a map that you expect them to be going too much towards the operator. You know, they eliminated Ascent, for example, which is where something's going to be going heavy with that. But here, it's more to do with them playing as a pack, playing as a death ball. And I think Jing and Devi have been great at being able to set up those tip of the spear moments with Forsaken either coming in behind or setting up lurks. And they've just all had phenomenal impact so far. Really feels like they've settled into the rhythm of this map.
Yeah. I was worried at the beginning, Josh. Can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, they're a great team. They've got deep in a lot of tournaments, but winning has eluded them. And you gotta hope that they don't choke another, I think.
Yeah.
At the moment, though, set up in a great position on a map they should have been favored on.
A lot of running around occurring. PaperX are stacking A towards the 4 players. Early setup. Creeping and crawling forwards. Chronicle has to be the player to receive. It's an off-angle for him. Damage! Done and more! Chronicle and Alpha, I mean, they just put those players in their backpack.
Toxins going up.
Something's going to try to recover this one. Actually might have caught a timing. Back around the backs, but scurried away. Chronicle and Alpha live to fight another day. Alpha even going re-exploring.
Yeah, he's going to have to take down Fight. It's not clean. Any stretch of imagination. Something dropped down to 10 health as a result of it.
Standing ahead.
All needs to be broken now. Clearing the way. That doesn't clear most of it, though. This is impossible scenario for Fnatic. A pistol round in their sights. Already control. Tripled up. In through the back of the site. Main is theirs from Kron.
Last player standing.
Lurking into the fray. Patman is the last one left now to stand against this. What can he really do, the rookie? Not a lot. Revealed up. It's a classic right click, simple enough.
So both pistols in this map going the way of Fnatic, but really very few rifle rounds. I mean, one, if you could even call the bonus round that in the first half, going the way of the EMEA team.
Did I kill you?
So we'll see if that trend continues. Fnatic got a great start out, and they just couldn't convert any further. But PaperX, that same gap that Fnatic were trying to exploit in the first half by sending flanks, pushing mid, that gap does still exist here on their defense side, that lack of information. For example, in this round, how open market is.
Deep control, PaperX. Just disrespected him, really. Flush of the nade, trying to earn up some ults.
The slower that Fnatic play, the more that PaperX are going to be worried about those gaps. And it means that PaperX themselves have to be pretty proactive in the defense. If you play against PaperX and you just hit sites over and over, you make their job very easy here. Because they don't have to worry about the lurk, they can just play for the retake. But when you play slow, the way that Boaster calls, there's going to be worries in the back of Forsaken's mind. And they'll have to take timings like this to re-clear mid and then spread back out.
Deploying drone. One of that 3-2-1 swing. But I'm getting maybe there, at least with the due diligence. Clearing out the way, this is PaperX looking to try and flood their way back in. They've only got pistols, trying to make the most of it right now, but again, bodies topple and fall, complete collapse onto the site. Patman, yeah, not live for much longer. 2 now. And this half here for Fnatic, looking to see if they can convert this bonus. It's going to be a healthy one.
And PaperX are going to play to try to flood. They love playing quickly. As you put the spike down, they're going to be running back into sight, trying to deny you. Very coordinated with their utility as well, but fast-paced. So far in this tournament...
We are holding this A, bro. We are defending now, again, on side.
Yeah. They're not even going to have the chance to get into post plants very often and play these really calm, controlled post plant setups. It's going to be frantic. They're going to feel like defenders, just as Kron said.
Fnatic are getting a glimpse into mid. Jump spots. Info gathered.
Looking to diligently clear these corners. Waiting to see if any of the PaperX players have tried to take a tricky aggro timing.
It's a deeper wall from Patman. It's causing some concern, but cleared out now by Fnatic.
And Devi's wall is really good at blocking these gaps. So he's popped it down over towards A right now, and nobody from Fnatic choosing to break it, which means in theory, the defenders can back out of A and go to cover a different gap. But they're waiting here, expecting Boaster to be a good enough caller to want to break this wall.
And they're poking, prodding, just trying to bring it down. It's going to be fading at a moment's notice, and while that was occurring, something was the only player holding top mid. He's gone. Kai takes him out. Forsaken responds. Paranoia is going to be sweeping forwards as well, putting a bit of pause into the step of Fnatic. Slow as they go. Time to be taken. Crashes the one with a spike here, and he's going to be dropping it into Forsaken's lap. Full control here. This is the round that's gone a bit skewed with Fnatic. They need a miracle. They need it now. The random spam. It's been picked up, but Jing is straight there. Bullet to the body of Alpha. There's not much left that they can really do from this spot. PaperX up to 9.
And Forsaken does such a great job holding market, forcing Fnatic to pay for every inch they take in blood. Even though something falls, Forsaken is not willing to give this up. Even with a drone in his face, he chooses to challenge, to fight.
One enemy remaining.
And then catches even a timing on Crashies.
Don't mess with me, bro! Don't mess with me, okay?
And that kind of conditioning is going to cause Fnatic to use more utility, be more cautious, always doubling up. Forsaken steps forward again. Oh, he's been caught on the other side of the wall.
Yep, it's going to be dropping down in front of him, and Alpha just drops him in his stead.
That's rough. He was trying to break the cam there and still get back into market in time. That's a fumble.
Deep dart to clear this way. Wall's going to be propped up. We can expect it to still be slow and steady by Fnatic.
And this time PaperX do what I was talking about, where they wall up and leave. But they're pushing the other side of the map, getting Patman in a pretty deep inserted position in B.
It's looking like a B split. Boaster has that B main control for him. A very important fight going to be occurring on both sides. Here's something. Just drifts right into the crosshair play. Smart! Jing! Like a rocket man, but the bodies are toppled anyway. Fnatic find the advantage in the air, just left to Patman. Scrambling, running right into the sights. Chronicle.
You love to see plays like that from PaperX, leaning on some of the classic odd timings of aggression. But Fnatic dealt with it. Maybe this is the kind of pace that they're more comfortable playing against. They were very ready for that peak from something. It's super similar to what Forsaken went for in the previous round, trying to timing the drone. And then as much as Jing got value from that peak, Fnatic come out on top. Another good start to a half. But that didn't stop PaperX from coming back and getting 8 in a row.
Go get him.
PaperX are just clearing out A right now, allowing something to build up a little closer to the Hunter's Fury, which is an incredibly useful ultimate, especially when you want to play that flood defense style. Puts a lot of pressure on the planter. In this round, Boaster's calling for his team to explore over towards B. And Patman, he's been trying to challenge this. Once more, they do not want to give any space for free. Fnatic are going to have to fight to get into these post plants.
Wall down, barely broken. Not quite there yet, that's going to be signs of life. So okay, Jing wants to go forwards. It's an eco round. Rocket rebounds, no kill. Alpha taking Jing out of the fight. A lot of the biting around that PaperX were hoping for. It's going to be dissipating now. Deep drone has rather reclear some of that info, but it's called for Fnatic. They're going to go over towards B. Forsaken and Patman. The only defenders, the only players to try and put a stop to it. Kayak. It's going to be offloading that ultimate now. Overdrive in hand. Trying to put a stop to Patman, and there's only so much you can do. There's a Neon AD in your face. Inevitable at this point here. Trying to go for the trade out. Alpha's there in time.
And Alpha, yeah, is the hero of the round. Takes a pretty large risk in stepping forwards to the showstopper, but catches a nice timing onto Jing. Catches him in the side, utilizes his ultimate, and they realize there is a huge gap in the defense all the way up mid into Market and Boba. And they catch these players on the B side, separating them entirely from those defenders that would love to rotate and support. Here's the timeout once again, called by Coach Alex. This was what made all the difference before. Alex had some input, and they ran the next 8 rounds in a row on their attack side, PaperX. What's the adjustment here? I think it is very tough to play against Fnatic's slower pace style. When you don't have a Sentinel in your composition, you can't just sit back. You've got to meet that caution with some aggression of your own. To some degree, I think PaperX today need to be playing fast and cocky, yeah, but they also need to be playing smart. They need these adjustments coming through from Alex to be able to tell them the right times to go aggro, the right ways in which to play the retake.
We can see from the money situation, Divine opting into the operator, might still stick towards it.
This goes here.
Change his mind, but maybe a central piece to try and hold together this defense.
And I think the interesting component of that too is he's the Sage, and the wall is also an essential component of their mid-rounding defense and their info game. So is he going to play for the wall early and then in the mid-round get posted up with the op, or does he try to take early angles and ignore the fact that his wall could be finding them good value in the mid?
Wall in his face for now. We find towards the top. Sakam taken out, and a double phase!
Destroyed!
Oh my, obliterated!
And so now you've got no op, no wall, no res. One of your most important players hits the deck so early.
PaperX are left wandering out into the open, but Alpha. Good pick. Best that they could potentially find.
He might have even seen 2 on the minimap there as he died, because it looked like something and Patman were doubled up.
So PaperX have brought it even, 4 versus 4 now, and another 3-2-1 into the space! Kayak! That's disgusting work.
That's beautiful. The Neon movement as well, to just glide away from the trade. He's sharp, confident, and starting this hit into the B site.
Yeah,
Paper Rex, I mean, they don't even have the tools, the funds here to contest, frankly.
They've scrambled away. Might look to try and save some of the guns. Operator perhaps, but they are drifting in like they want to try and take a chunk out of Fnatic.
They've got 4 players that aren't going to be able to buy in the next round.
Unwise. I think they've realized it.
One of the players could go for something. If they'd found a lurk, if they'd found a pick. But Patman, he picks up the operator and they just play for it into the next round. 2 opportunities for Paper Rex to be trying to find an early pick through mid. One with the op and one with the double face, and both dismantled. Really sharp shooting here from Fnatic.
They're going to be drawing it level with that one. 9-9 for Fnatic. That experience, that grit.
You talk about drawing in, though. Look at the net drawing in on these players trying to save.
They got to save them. Forsaken steadily being overwhelmed at this point. Like this Caps are going to try and run him down to the final moments. No respite. No saving. No consolation prizes. And yeah, no money. Like you said, Josh, this is now a dire circumstance.
God, what a shot.
That's beautiful.
Barely sees a glimmer. Healer kill. And then the kayak 1v2 afterwards is spectacular as well. Something doesn't get much of a chance there.
I helped you, bro.
Standing ahead.
Paper Rex are willing to take the risks on rounds like this, and it's Forsaken who goes straight down with the...
Already the deep TP, but he's surrounded potentially there, and it's just offset immediately. Patman going down. Clears up a series of unknowns. Fnatic can start to slowly get a grip on what's going on.
They Viper walled for mid, so the Forsaken could push, but that meant that Patman didn't have his own Viper wall in B main that he's been playing around.
Forsaken still stanced up, but okay, can't avoid that one. Kayak is sharp right now.
Fnatic are doing a great job of dealing with all of this defensive pressure. And like I've been saying over and over again, Paper Rex have to do this. It might look like Paper Rex are just kind of walking into their demise, but their composition relies on them getting active on defense. They can't just sit back. And Fnatic are not giving them an easy game here. They are not hitting sights and execing until the very final moments. And by that point, Paper Rex have already given them a pick.
Applying that even pressure across the board, something, re-exploring. To head ripped off, but immediately again the answer back's there. Market is open and accessed here for Fnatic. Something's being squeezed.
You know where both of these players are though. Boaster's just calling for the full rotate over towards A. Something got a kill, Divide threw out a slow orb, Divide even getting picked over towards Boba. And they've got a great idea of where something is.
Yeah, time
it's a 4v1.
10 seconds left.
No real opportunity here for something. Maybe feeling like he has to do it all.
Spike planted.
Spike planted on A. This is a dire circumstance for Paper Rex.
Forsaken only has 800 credits too. So this is just a slam dunk save. Something's entirely on the wrong side of the map with no information, and I don't think he's going to keep a weapon. Alpha spins 90 degrees, decapitates something. Fnatic take the lead back. It's been a while since we were able to say that.
Yeah, that string and run of rounds that Paper Rex earned in that first half. Offset now, Fnatic. There is no denying that resilience. They've showed it all tournament long.
One enemy remaining.
There's only a few teams in the history of VCT that have completed a lower bracket run. They would love to add their name to that list.
One of those legendary lower bracket runs, FPX at Masters Copenhagen denying Paper Rex the trophy when Paper Rex came through that upper bracket. The first time that Paper Rex ever had a chance at a trophy. Another slow beginning from Fnatic, never allowing Paper Rex an easy round.
Cautious tail that they're weaving across the map.
A drone up over the top, trying to get a little bit of information, but doesn't see Alpha yet, tucked behind the pillar. And they might want to go for that same 3-2-1 mid re-clear. Even Divide coming to try to help it out.
Come towards it, broken up towards the top. There's fights to be taken, but battle lines redrawn and lurking up onto the angle. Patman deletes Boaster.
That's
Start
big
for Paper Rex, and they put the wall up as well to reinforce towards Market. Watch the lie up towards it, but Alpha! My God, that's instinctual.
Beautiful timing, but Device there with the res.
Hunter's Fury though to try and punish, and this is getting hot and heavy. Brought all the way towards him. There's no tags from Crashies, no clearance. Forsaken ducked right underneath it. There's that Orbs propped up. It's a full spam committal to the clip, but already the timing forwards at near sight just catches onto Kayak. Won't deny him that kill though. He's having to put Forsaken in his place and now taking control of the site. In the blink of an eye, there's only 15 seconds left. Slow Orb. Stun rattling the nade, ricocheting, Kayak being chipped down, and Paper Rex. They do drag it level.
It's a 4v1. The Paper Fnatic.
But Alpha picking up on fights to be taken, but battle lines redrawn and lurking up onto the angle. Patman deletes Boaster.
Silver Swan.
Seen a couple of them today from a few players. I think that showcases the nerves that can hit even the most experienced people when it comes to the grand finals. The game level though, and Paper Rex with a really critical one to win in that prior. They still have massive ultimates that if they can run the time down are going to be super important. That Shock Dart is supposed to break a trip. And the lineup just off.
Rattling. Handshake with the bullets. Forsaken. Forced to respect it when the Viper orbs up. Drop down with a double face through the box. No damage done.
Forsaken though is always going to be re-challenging. He's super aggressive.
Trying to take that fight, and he has put the rookie in his place. Kayak. There's no more. Chronicle going for a little bit more. Again, these smokes causing issues.
Forsaken just cannot be dug out of these spots. He was doing the same thing over towards Market to win Paper Rex around previously. Look how much Fnatic are struggling to be able to even get information over here. They're droning in towards B, trying to pull defensive rotates. Boaster might be the playmaker up mid.
Yeah.
But Forsaken is here again.
Moved in, drops down though.
Whiffy!
It is Whiffy. No control over the rifle in that spot. Something
left.
puts a stop to it in a 3v5 scenario. Fnatic still looking to see if they can test towards that A side. Jing propped up. Missed the timing onto the cross. Barely alive there. Shredded back and forth with the bullets. Fnatic have access towards it, but Hunter's Fury is let loose to try and deny the plans. He's giving them hot feet. Crabtree's up for a mid. But there's the connection they were looking for. Paper X. He's up for a mid. Fury is let loose to try and deny the plans. He's giving them hot feet. Crabtree's up for a mid. Is let loose to try and deny the plans. He's giving them hot feet. Crabtree's up for a mid. But there's the loose to try and deny the plans. He's giving them hot feet. Crabtree's up for a mid. But there's the connection they were looking for. The plans. He's giving them hot feet. Crabtree's up for a mid.
Most players would. They wouldn't be willing to take this level of risk, but Forsaken is, and he's constantly re-challenging, trying to get back on the angle, playing on the very edge of the risk that he can take, but not getting punished for it. And he's just making all of this map control feel impossible for Boaster's calling. That's why Boaster had to make that play up mid in the prior. Once again, it is only Forsaken defending this spot over towards A. And yet they'll have a hard task going through him.
He's not keen to give it up.
They do have a camera that they can pop that should be able to get a tag and push him off potentially.
Standing ahead. Yuto's going to be sent flying forwards though to TP. Evacuation back to the side. Paranoia. And the dart up and over towards the top. There's a smoke to play in. Forsaken. He's safe for now. Responds with the rockets. Forsaken. Just sidestepping all of them. And reinforcements have arrived. Paper X trying to hotly contest most of this space here, but they have given up all of B in the process. And now a mad scurry and a dash. Fnatic making moves over towards the opposite side.
They've got enough time. You can see Paper X doing a re-clear at the moment, and that has informed this rotate for Forsaken. He gets down in the anchor spot again. He is everywhere. He is everything. And Fnatic look like they've given up on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, is Boaster waiting to maybe teleport in if Crashies had managed to open up the site? This just looks like a pure save.
No time left. It's whittled down.
Left.
And Paper X.
Look at the impact, Brian, again that Forsaken had here. He was impossible to get through. They had to use a cam, a recon, huge amounts of info. The Neon ultimate as well to push him back. And all
Standing ahead. Yuta's going to be sent flying forward, start to TP. Evacuation back to the side, Paranoia. And the dart up and over towards the top. There's a smoke to play in. Forsaken, he's safe for now. Responds with the rockets. Forsaken! Just sidestepping all of them. Drone. Enemy mark. And reinforcements have. A little bit concerning.
Yeah, I was saying, perhaps Fnatic are the villains to Paper Rex's protagonist anime arc, and yet, with that chuckle, maybe Pac-Man's the villain in disguise.
The Riddler's in the building. Little Joker, take your pick.
Forsaken, though, has just been storming up the scoreboard in these last few rounds. Kayak and Alpha, yeah, were doing huge work for Fnatic on that run in the third quarter. And now that we're getting towards the end of the game, Paper Rex up towards map point. It really has felt like the final boss is Forsaken to get through. This player that plays everything for Paper Rex. The glue guy, the leader, stepped up as a caller. The evolution of Forsaken has been remarkable to watch. When they were first stepping onto the global scene and contesting for trophies, he was a bit of a W Gaming duelist player. Kind of crazy, chaotic. Won them rounds for sure, but also lost them quite a few. And now he is pretty rock solid. It's difficult to watch him put a foot wrong.
One round away from that first stepping stone the Paper Rex are looking for. Deep hold again. This is aggression though by Paper. Oh, by Fnatic. Hold up. Bit of spam into the box. And instantly calling for the retreat.
Looking to try to put the pressure on early. Maybe anticipating that that's where Forsaken was going to be playing. And the cam up above the pit. Not going to spot Pac-Man.
Getting his timing something. Ooh, he's going to be handed that surely. A fight has been taken. A lot of damage on the crashes. The stun ricochets perfectly in place. And Divide topples. Something trying to fill up those gaps though. Straight from behind. Spike drop down. Smoke up. Akai's ahead of it. It's all down to something in that 1v2.
He knows the Boaster's going to play for the ultimate. He knows that he doesn't need to defend the spike. And so something's now found a much earlier timing into market.
Ahead of it now. Here's the plan. This is the best timing for it. He can isolate a fight. 1v1 Alpha! Safe pair of handled.
Really has felt. For kind of
calling for. Calling for. Deep hold again. This is aggression though by Paper. Oh, by Fnatic. Hold up.
Almost made the magic happen. But still Fnatic, with that grit, push us to the final round of regulation. Can they give overtime in map 1?
So Paranoia forwards already. Paper Rex. Very fast play indeed. Basic. And the Warlock. None the bloody wiser. It's a bloodbath in towards the bottom section. And Palmer now looking to try and put a stop to any of it. No more funny business. Paper Rex. They want this first stepping stone and they want it bad.
The perfect time to pull out a set play like that. Leaves Chronicle and Crashies in a tough 2v4. Boxed in on sight. Paper Rex, this first map, feels just an inch away.
Viper's Pit offloaded. A blight onto the site that's given them that safety net. Fnatic trying to play through, but immediately it falls. And Paper Rex
yes, oh my
take
god.
on number 1.
A gorgeous play, a perfect decision. The tactic, immaculate at the end. Alpha left wondering what the hell happened and where he was being shot from. That map was favored to Paper Rex, but they ended it with style.
If you step in the way, GB and the analyst desk, of course, breaking it all down. You don't want to go anywhere.
Let's go, boys. Good job.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon
Surely pull out a set play like that. Very fast play indeed. Toxic and the Warlock. Forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Toxic and the Warlock. None the bloody wiser. So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Toxic. So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Toxic and the Warlock. So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Toxic and the Warlock. So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Can they give overtime in map 1? So Paranoia forwards already, Paper X. Very fast play indeed. Toxic and the Warlock. None the bloody wiser. It's a bloodbath in towards the bottom section. Palmer now looking to try and put a stop to any of it. No more funny business. Paper X. They want this first stepping stone and they want it bad. The
juicy angle.
Pull that out on the. Oh, look at the first. Yeah. You know if Alex paused and then that he was dead yet. That's nobody's. Oh my god!
When the wall came in,
and nobody was dead yet. Oh! Oh my god!
When the wall came in,
and was on Oh, bro, no, that's last round.
Give overtime in map 1.
Please no OT. Please no OT. No.
Paranoia
Nice.
forwards already, Paper X.
What the? Holy shit, this tempo.
Oh my god! No! They did not just do that on the last round!
Oh my god, they were saving
Palmer,
that.
please live. Nice!
Oh my god.
He got his one, I don't care.
That might be the coolest thing I've ever seen
And
in my
on the
fucking
last
existence.
round, they pulled that out on the last round.
And they want it bad.
That is a legendary
Who
shit.
is writing the script?
No, that is legendary shit.
I love this team, bro.
No
God.
way, bro. No, they have to.
Listen.
Paper X, this first map.
That might be the most unique strat
Oh,
I've ever seen in my life.
fuck. No, my bro, no.
It doesn't matter.
Light onto the side.
It doesn't matter.
Nice.
Oh, he
It's over.
him.
Austin is not winning. Nice!
Oh my god.
Let's go!
Bro, JJ just flicked him randomly.
Not winning.
To the side.
It doesn't matter.
Nice.
Oh, he
It's over.
him.
Austin is not winning. Nice!
Oh my god.
Let's go!
Bro, JJ just flicked him randomly.
Bro. No, I can't believe what I just saw.
Oh my god.
I'm actually not even.
And on to a very short break, and after that, it's going to be game number 2 of the grand finals of Valorant. Uwi kahit isa!
Wala man lang naging reaction. And overtime, but then sa possibility. Hindi nila ginawa yan. Sila ng galing.
pa.
In the first game, best of 5. Ito na yung pinaka-inahandaan talaga natin lahat. Buti na lang nakuwasan na lang. Nice! And Jin and Divine all together now just to take out 2 players.
Nice!
Going into A, hindi sila papayag na makabawas ng kaagad.
Tropa, expect na kung sa susunod ng Crashies all alone! For sure, hindi pa nila napaplant yung spike. Jing catching one, Crashies all alone! Ladies and gentlemen, 1-0 Paper Next with the lead.
Oh my God, they did not do
Timeout was that Divide JJ. Where did that come from?
It's definitely not me.
Man, it is long.
A long time, but
Divide JJ. Where did that come from?
it's definitely not me.
Last round has got to be one of the most outrageous things we've ever seen on a stage. Was that you during the timeout? Was that Divide JJ? Where did that come from?
It's definitely not me. We had it in our bag a long time, but we were running out of timeouts already. It was, I think, Ting. I think it's his favorite move. So haven't shown it. Finally, it's out.
I can't wait to see more of that. Good luck.
And we
from behind in a
Half as well from.
tick map regulation.
Oh! Because if they get over towards the site and they go super aggro. Whoa! Damn, bro! Damn, dude! It's the Chinese special. I can't remember what team did it in China, but it's incredible with the recon over the top, Omen Flash Claws, Satchel up, Sage. It's Chronicles, if they get over towards the site and they go super aggro. Whoa! Damn, bro! Damn, dude!
Each wall on the other side, and that's so tough for anchor players to deal with when you're trying to fight into main, and then 3 players are splitting through mid, isolating you there, and then the rest of the team is going to be completely cut off by that wall, and they were so successful with those rounds on attack.
Yeah, being an anchor, you already have to hold several choke points, and you add that third when the other team is abusing mid control, and I want to say that at the bottom there it said off guard, and the thing is, we talk about their attack, it is so off guard and surprising, but on defense, we saw the craziest combination of util to get, I think, was it Jing up on that Sage wall at the end through the window. I have never seen that.
Yeah, that was cool. And like Alex said, it's out there now.
How these two teams want to play defense. BRX is a team that loves playing flood retake, heavy fighting onto sites. Teams want to play like, and it is
map smell where it is. Well, there you see
where Paper X are taking us. So Fnatic have got to get out to a good start here and equalize the series if they want a serious chance of picking up another one of those trophies. In this half, be expecting Paper X to be contesting space. Think about the way that they made it difficult for Fnatic to get room on their attack side. I mean, this, for example, a triple face, super committed from Paper X. Hoping maybe just to find Alpha taking a timing. He's normally going to be the solo player on A if the rest of the team is working B. But Fnatic are just trying to figure out which part of the map Paper X are playing for. Where are they fighting? And this is a silent way of fighting.
Yeah.
Here.
Slow siege. Tripled up.
Here they
Hoping
come.
that someone springs this trap, and they have. Alpha catches wind of it.
And immediately this Paper X triple face evaporates, dissolves, leaving only Forsaken and Jing. And even Jing actually leaving the A site entirely, ready for the reaction of Fnatic into B.
Oh, that spike, and they're just seeing it as well. Crashies is trying to take that timing forwards. Devi shuts it down before it gets a little bit messy here. Side control still a little bit all over the place. And there's a timing. Timing here, Boaster! Can't get the shots lined up, can't get it in order. Paper X are walking all over them right now.
A nice pistol round, the first one for Paper X in the series. They didn't need either of them on Sunset. It was a tight one, but they managed to get it over the line. This idea works perfectly against the way that Fnatic are going to be taking these slow-paced fights. You set up to punish people as they're contacting in.
No more.
The Fnatic coach is not too happy with how that one's gone, but know that things are still winnable even without a pistol. And Fnatic start out in a pretty similar way. Forsaken grabs the ult orb over towards A. There's a smoke up on Belt that stops you from being able to contest this angle early. And on B, Patman trying to hold a pretty aggressive position and punish you if you try to take B main for free.
And they go on wandering. Oh boy, punished for it! Devi is rolling heads off shoulders. Backup is right there by his side. Clean sweep.
Can't be getting 3 from that position with only a Sheriff. That's ridiculous. Halfway up almost to getting his lockdown online. What a shot the first one. Barely see anything of Boaster's head. And another demonstration that Paper X are going to take fights. Plenty of players in that spot would see many people in mid and just back up. Allow the turret to be broken and worry about Kitchen instead. No, Paper X are going to contest that space and force you to earn it. Something with an off online in round 3. Something walking up with the off in round 3.
Want to be held here, off angle. Could be shots rattled, and yeah, one to the dome. Something is the one. Dropped in his place, Boaster. Calling for a pause on the rest of the troops, no more exploration.
It's a massively important kill, but Boaster's got to know that there's another player behind that.
Deploying drone.
Drone being used by Fnatic. Clears out a lot of the site. Jing, though, is laying in wait. Time to strike might be nigh. There's a wall up onto the one side of it. Slow up, rattled. Walls up, though. Time to fight! They're just trying to tip-tap. Guardian in hand. Can't settle the recall enough here. Wall's going to be dropping down. Open access to these fights. Devi is still here, still kicking. The snake bite not connecting. Forsaken trying to assist the best he can, but as Util used to clear him out in spades. Fnatic.
No charges left.
Slowly to glacial pace. Patman trying to stop this one in his tracks, though. Snake bite.
30 seconds left.
Ricocheting. Forces an uncomfortable planting spot. It's a 2v2 still. Paper X. Access towards it, drifting in. Kayak! Goddamn single digits. Him and Patman trying to take this one. Patman snaps to Kayak's dome. One left to start. Patman lights him up.
What a beast in the clutch this newcomer to Paper X is. He's won some mightily important 1vx's. And here dismisses the rookie on the other side of the stage before taking down a player with a ton of experience too. The Red Bull clutch to win the bonus in a spot where it looked like Fnatic actually were in control, but the more that they went forward to try to get the plant down, the more they opened up opportunities. Boaster, he opens, but couldn't close. Alex is happy about that one. The more Flood defend aggressive style really is.
San Marino corn.
Big drone. It's broken early. Crashies was just looking to clear that space. They know that something has been taking liberties.
I think it was a shock dart there as well that did a pretty large chunk of damage.
Oh yeah, cancelled it.
Alpha's going to try to work his way up to you, but it's difficult. Devi's got his full setup here.
Paranoia trying to refight this one. A crunching Fnatic. Slow take. Stomped in his tracks once more. Forsaken. Pushing them back and away. Paper Rex are not content with just scraps. They want to go even further. Forwards again. Damage. Kayak.
I got the spike.
Might have just brought this one back from the brink. His weapons abound, but 8 HP to do it all. And Devi not eager to lose that chance.
Another spot where Kayak probably isn't anticipating Devi swinging. Most people are going to play a 2v1, a lot more cautious than that. But Paper Rex are finding the right timings today to put pressure on Fnatic in unexpected ways. These are the risks, the gambles that Paper Rex have taken and honestly have in some previous tournaments been punished for. But this time, today, it is really working. Fnatic's coach is already deciding to take a tactical timeout. We are seeing these really early on in the halves. I think Alex talked a little bit about it during the coach's interview, the fact that he was already out of them by the time it got to crunch time, you know, like 11-11 kind of stuff at the end of Sunset. The pressure hitting early on.
Living to stop that momentum that Paper Rex have. Stop it in its tracks, but it's hard to do against a freight train going at Mach 10 speeds. That's what Paper Rex are playing like. Lights out, determined to be the ones to lift that trophy.
The only team to really put a halt on it was Gen G way earlier on. And honestly, since then, the train has just been accelerating all the way through that upper bracket. It's really difficult to stop a team that has momentum like this when they're feeling confident and are going for peaks at unexpected times. You've got to be ready for anything against Paper Rex. And what's frustrating in this tournament, I would imagine, is that it's at quite different timings compared to usual. Here's an adjustment. Snake bite.
Ooh.
And a shot and a half there to delete Jing.
Snaps up. Jing is gone.
So they've denied Forsaken getting that Hunter's Fury online and found themselves in a 5v4. Couldn't ask for a better beginning for Fnatic.
Push, that's a cheeky one, Patman. I don't want to overstay yourself though. Drones forward, somebody's going for another bite of the apple! And he evens the score.
I don't think that's too bad though for Fnatic. They do still have a res to be able to work around with. They're droning. Boaster's taking a little bit of space in mid. This is a risk.
Yeah, and he's pre-aiming the wrong spot here. Just spotted it. Something seen it. Out through the shoulder, dart against it. With a spam expecting the Boaster would cross out, and he's got out. Scot-free, Alpha exploring on the other side. Devi's done. The spike in the hands of Chronicle. It's going to be a quick plant now.
Yeah, that's huge. Fnatic were anticipating that Paper Rex would be denying the res, and so B would be more open. Instead, Devi was holding it and got deleted. Still a player advantage for Fnatic in the post plant.
An ADS stub, Alpha yet, top form. Really trying to drag that first round on the board here for Fnatic. Brute force and mechanics. Exactly what they ordered. Forsaken's still going to be making a go at this one though. Alongside Patman, time though ticking. Spike, it's getting out of hands and push forwards, pressed the advantage. Alpha yeah! Smelling blood in the water.
Meet the new global.
If he gets online, could be a very different game. I mean, he still played fantastically in the first map, don't get me wrong. But we've seen matches that Fnatic have been playing, honestly, not just at this tournament, but at the end of stage 1 too, where he just took over. In my opinion, probably front runner for MVP at this point, Alpha, yeah. but competing alongside Jing, maybe even Forsaken, for that kind of title. They'll need him though. Paper Rex still up 4-1.
Few ults online, Fnatic. Another bit of util, gotta respect that.
Yeah, that constant conditioning of taking the ult orb early is just forcing some level of utility to be used for Fnatic. This round, they decide not to use the snakebite, but have to use a slow orb instead.
Patman, here's a drone. Side steps out of it, looking to take a timing rather than breaking it.
Yeah, he wants to play this aggressive. Again, think about the way that Forsaken, for example, was playing on Sunset. You want to force Fnatic to earn every inch.
All up, all down. Boaster sees an advantage and a spot to try and play in, but the first shot just missed. On either side here, smoke up in your face. And Paper Rex re-exploring.
A completely empty here, Brent. Paper Rex have got the right read to play it for retake.
Down through mid as a dash active. Kayak wants to try and go with it. Updraft over towards it. Alpha, my God, tapping away and snap into the domes of any adversary.
It's remarkable the consistency that he's got. Had to deal there with a player in a pretty unexpected position at bottom tube.
Left.
Forced a 1v1 and came out the better end of it. Something's in a fairly unwinnable position. And again, Alpha Jaego's hunting at the end. He is thirsty. Got his lockdown online. Sovereign as well on both sides to try to deal with it. So the Killjoys are not in a perfect position to be able to get value out of their ults. But this has knocked Paper Rex's economy back after just 2 rounds. And the plays that they're going for, getting shut down. This one, not necessarily set up, but a pretty reasonable timing for Divide to go for. Trying to take an unexpected peek, knowing that was probably a 1v1, but just gets sat in his place by the Turkish aim god. It's incredible when you think about some of the changes that these teams have made. I mean, let's take it from Fnatic's perspective. Trying for another trophy without Leo and Durka, which I think people would have talked about them being absolutely fundamental parts of the reason that Fnatic were able to go back-to-back in 2023. But still able to rely on pillars of the team like Alpha and Boaster's Calling, Chronicle 2. You know, this core has been able to plug in other pieces. A rookie of Kayak, a player looking for redemption like Crashies, and still have a chance, another chance at glory.
A testament, I think, to the quality of the core on Fnatic. And Paper Rex will be trailing when it comes to that economy, but not with the rounds. They take the timeout, discuss what has been going wrong.
And I think, really, the type of fights that they've been going for, there's still a decent chance of success in these spots. But it's about getting Fnatic in situations and timings that they're not quite anticipating.
Well, quick dash though, this is Fnatic.
Way faster.
Way faster. No one from Paper Rex to really receive. They might be able to get a few pot shots in potentially. Swinging wide as I say that, Divide. Around the corner already, but he's looking for that open sideline. Not going to be given too much. The spots the one, even that repeat, rattling shots off. Updraft now, knives in hand, something going to clear the way and cleave. A path to victory, Kayak gone. Cut out the picture now, Swarms. The Nano Swarms themselves, lockdown even being committed. Paper Rex are using this ult on ults. They realize it's winnable. Up towards the top though, Boaster needs to be managed. Bullet to the side, Sheriff's there, and he needs to try and break this one. No, Bullet surely is just there. And one detainment on it, something sticking. Ult just yanked out of the back pocket. Anything to secure this round for Fnatic now, and they need it. Something trying to play his life to the final moments. The right click to no avail.
And a round win for Fnatic, though a costly one on an anti-eco. Having to use some pretty large ultimates there. But a lockdown utilized on both sides. Definitely felt winnable when something came in over the top. I can understand why Paper Rex would want to send it. They did, in fact, manage to break the lockdown coming through from Alpha.
Enemy remaining.
Unfortunately, weaponry just not quite good enough and not enough people caught in Divide's lockdown. This round, though, Forsaken the end result of all of that, has that ult to empower the rest of his team to flood defend, and something with an op.
Being deep push by Jing as well.
His op was amazing earlier on in the tournament. We got to see him pull it out on Ascent, and he was working magic with it.
I have the spike.
I get his chance again, but hard to tell where Fnatic are looking to lead and end.
They're throwing down a slow orb over towards A, making it feel perhaps like they're taking early A control, and then Boaster leading them back towards B with 3, sorry. Making sure that they're grouped up, able to trade out Patman if he goes for something wild.
Spotting Alpha. Just him even going for a bit of a fight towards Taken. I mean, he's lucky to be alive there.
That's so bold.
Pop it up onto the box. And the read is only coming in just now. PaperX realizing potentially a little bit late. Scattered bodies, but are going to hit a wall now. Realize that they've missed their mark, potentially. Snap towards the top. Patman's still alive here. Something from the side. And Alpha wants to try and slink in himself. There's 28 seconds left, and they're getting cold feet. They're going to go towards A. It's all on Alpha.
Alpha's found a beautiful timing here. Might be able to catch something in the back, and he's already calling for Boaster to make the rotate around.
Absolutely, and he bites his time perfectly. Just deleting adversaries now. There's 14 seconds left. You've got to get a move on.
He's going to be able to get Spike down here, though, Boaster.
He's going forwards. There's a TP back behind as well, obfuscating the intent. Jing to really just put a stop to all of this right now, but Alpha in through mid, traded out, cleaned up. One left onto the site. Boaster is to try and put a stop to it, and the reflank as well occurring. Crashies drifting all the way in, and backs towards him. They are none the wiser as I say that. Device shut me up. It's left down to Boaster, being squeezed onto the site. Devi and Jing tightening the net, spamming away, and they find their mark.
What awareness there from Devi towards the end. Crashy's knife out, trying to find the timing, almost perfect. And Devi just thinks to check behind for a moment towards screens. They haven't seen the Sova in a while. Look at that play though from Patman. Working his way forwards again, aggressively challenging as the plank goes down, always forcing Fnatic to work for it. And inside the pit, great coordination from Devi. And Forsaken, I think it was towards the end, just closing the net. Op back in the hands, something going aggro.
Yeah, straight down mid, but there's knives to meet him. Kayak is there, holding for the peek the barrel, just poking out. Seems to be aware of the chance.
Has he spotted it?
I don't know. With the angles being played, he's definitely holding for it. He suspects it. Something going to overstep.
An inch further forward, and Kayak for sure would see it. There gives away the hand.
Yeah. Just from the jump spot there, and an attempt at a punish. Shot trapped. No committal. Alpha is right there.
That's an insane adjustment from Althea as well. Devi tries to swing into cover and gets deleted.
He's trying to plug up those gaps, but up through Kitchen they are none the wiser again. It's Kayak. Drifted in, walking in. Dash is active, missed the timing. Caught it onto all of them! Kayak!
The patience in that moment.
Tears open the map. Fnatic, they realize they've got it at this point. Again, leaning hard on Alpha and Kayak to get it all done.
That's incredibly impressive, though. A reminder once more that this is Kayak's first global event. This is his first Grand Finals. It hasn't been that long since he won Ascension and started playing in the big leagues.
The money's not good. Something not long for this world at this point. Up put over towards the top. Kayak. Tasty little three-piece.
That's some unbelievable composure for a rookie player, though. That's the kind of timing that you would only expect somebody with a huge amount of experience to be able to pull off. And Jing just has no clue about that. It is a little rough when you watch it back from his POV. But the trigger discipline. Panic from Patman. And they've let things slip a little bit here. PaperX down onto another eco, and Fnatic with a great opportunity to tie it up. Alpha even going for an attack off. You know that in these kind of rounds, Paper Rex are going to be trying to challenge you. Trying to bait out that aggression from the defenders and punish is all about what Fnatic are going for here today.
Jing really being the only player that can do some damage in this spot. Bulldog gripped in his hands. He's got bodies with him too. Paper Rex trying to hold this one down.
There was a potential for a timing on the other side of the map as well, but Patman denied it as Alfia reconnects with the rest of the squad. This is going to end A into 3 at least.
Yeah.
The stack is here.
We'll see how this one goes. Dart's being held as well for the signs of life. There's smokes on smokes. Propped up into the face, but all contact. Slow and steady is called for by Fnatic, and that's the time to strike. Well, the iron is hot, and they find their timing. Perched up, Kayak. Just dishing it all out now with the bullets.
Jing tucked in. Patman deleted on the flank.
There's not much that Jing can really do from this spot. I mean, surely, yeah, just a Bulldog. Can't quite get it under control, and Kayak is the one online now. Take a look at this player. You said it, Josh. You would not expect this guy to be a rookie on this stage. But Icebox is his playground. It has been all tournament long.
Now you look at the two players that have been at the top of the scoreboard for Fnatic today. It's the same in map 1 and map 2. Alpha and Kayak finding their opportunities to be the playmakers as well. Opening up these rounds. From the entry and from the lurk. A reminder that Alfia brought an attack off into the previous round and he still got it here. So looking to try to shut down something if he was playing on A Rafters. A pacey opening as well though. Taking this exec space quickly. Trying to punish Divide, for example, if he was going to be playing for the Orb, or Patman as well.
Jing has been prone for a little TP play or two. Alpha, slow as you go. Big boomstick in his hands. He's been lights out. All up though to try and slow this approach. Paper Rex trying to stall this one out, but there's a drone through and Kayak is already
he's so aggro
up towards the top, and he's spotted it. Players, but he's taking bullets in the process. Tucked to the corner. Now he's going to be able to survive as a wall to try and at least block some of the bullets. Forsaken grabs himself too, crashes right back at it, but no coverage in through the back of the side. Jing, no time for overheating, son. Keep that gun out. 17 bullets.
Alpha just with an off.
Alpha would have to just absolutely light them up, but it's a guessing game for him. Paper Rex at least keep hold of this lead that they've had, at least for most of this map.
These are the timings I'm talking about though, Brent. You watch Crashy's POV here towards the replay. He throws out a recon dart, which means that Chronicles alone get in the plant. He does an amazing job of picking up Divide and Forsaken, but he then thinks he has a timing to send utility, and he's not ready for Jing's fight. Paper Rex take timings that are just picking up Divide. Throws out a recon dart, which means that you watch Crashy's POV here towards the replay. He throws out a recon dart, which means that Chronicles alone get in the plant. He does an amazing job of picking up Divide and Forsaken, but he then thinks he...
I have had it with trying...
Gorgeous.
Hunter's Fury pulled out. Jing, he's in the
lead off the back of winning that pistol early.
Omp v Omp. Kayak. Jones going to be spotting it. Clears something off the line. Patman. Looking to clear, but
pistol early.
Omp v Omp. Kayak. Jones going to be spotting it. Clears something off the line. Patman. Looking to clear, but yeah, reposts it back up. What a read by Fnatic.
Now that is gorgeous.
Hunter's Fury pulled out. Jing, he's in their spawn. He's already taken out Alfia. This is Paper Rex offloading everything at their disposal now. Locked down, drop down. But a plant down without any problems. Fnatic going to be retreating. Crashes in a prime spot.
In theory, Chronicle could actually go for this res in mid.
Smokes up in their face. Kayak barely forwards there. Divide, will he look to the side? There's a res in mid. Bringing these players back, but the Paranoia is already sweeping forwards. Paper Rex, they take that timing and they take it themselves. Striking straight at them. And Fnatic have to rely all on Crashies up from the high ground, half on the defuse. Forsaken, surely he's earned this now, but he's in that 1v2. And Crashies dominates from the high ground.
Crashy, so much experience in these big moments. the last hope for North America in this tournament, and he comes through huge for Fnatic there with his positioning on site. FavorX knew that the rest of the players from Fnatic were stuck in mid, and he had to do everything from that high ground angle.
What a run back from Fnatic. They bring it to 6-6. One hell of a map.
Red Bull gives you wings.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance together.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
We're back into it as well. The Coinbase Econ report. You can see even across the board here.
Yeah, I mean, and a huge amount of damage done by Alpha, yeah, which makes perfect sense because he's up towards 12 kills. Matched on the other side by Divide, but I think some of the impact that Alpha was having on the attack side, fairly unmatched. Now, I think the game is going to shift pretty significantly, though, here. This half, you heard the Death set it up. Fnatic love playing the retake. They are going to be playing for Chronicles Wall retake on the pistol. That's their normal strategy, at least. And that is the entire opposite way that Gen G, for example, play. A team that smacked PaperX around on this map in this half. PaperX were constantly fighting, always denying, never allowing PaperX any space. That's the Pacific style. Fnatic don't really play like that, so we're going to get a really different game here. In theory, PaperX should actually have a ton of room to be able to get onto these sites.
PaperX just walking for now.
This has been their style in all of the pistols on their attack side so far. Very contacty.
And the smokes, they hide the intent pretty well. Drifting up through window, a couple of random bullets as well. Fnatic are trying to reinforce this one. They're doubling it up. It's Boaster and Crashies against the bloody world. And they're ready to deliver. Crashies already with quick 2-1s, and now pissed around ideas. All gone a bit skew whiff, really. Fnatic are in complete control.
Jing Smoke gave the game away there. A brilliant read from Fnatic. They knew exactly what was happening. Felt a little too similar perhaps to what's been happening on Sunset as well. All of those contacty plays around the map. Relying on the fact that Fnatic like to play in deeper, more cautious positions. This time, Fnatic choose to draw a line in the sand at Kitchen.
Guys, like that confident. Go like that confident. If they're coming to you, run to them, bro. Just chill these noobs, bro.
It's a good point.
It's interesting that Alpha says that, because that is his way of playing, but it's not the way that Fnatic themselves usually fight. Be interesting to see if his words of wisdom carry through. Boaster, though, backing off instead of stepping up.
Yeah.
Looking to try to play the numbers and play the retake. More of the classic Fnatic style.
Following those sound cues, looking to potentially take some early fights. Kayak. Shot to the body, Marshall will do that. There's no armor on the board here. Trying to go for that plant down. And if going to push this one back, not quite, it's going down. Slowly being collapsed upon here. PaperX don't really stand a chance. Just from the hip. Something classic. Does some damage, but that's about it.
A pretty clean round. Boaster and Alpha, they didn't even invest, so They've got plenty of opportunity here to have a good buy heading into their bonus round. But Fnatic are going to be doing a lot of this, where they're trying to react to what Paper Rex are doing around the map. Trying to stack bodies and get in position to go for that retake. Kayak, though, is contesting as the plant goes down there. You know, Fnatic might have a bit of an adjustment. We've got to hear it from Alpha.
One enemy remaining.
But it will be very interesting if Fnatic decide to take the fight to Paper Rex. Kayak picking up an operator. That's come out of the Boaster bank.
Okay.
It's a good job we're not doing the econ report now, I suppose, at the end of this one. But yeah, Boaster, always the selfless leader.
Kayak trying to post himself up. Well, the support, and wow, something. Eager to try and take down fight. Kayak makes him regret it.
Here.
Shoulders just poking out here. This is Fnatic.
Cover going out.
Pick advantage. Precisely the place they love to be in.
Jing's down to go really aggressive with this Omen. I've seen him teleport onto screens before. Ult into crazy spots. In a playmaking situation like this, down 4v5, you're wanting Jing to step up.
Hunter's Fury pulled out of it. That's early. Crashes been earning his kills and his orbs up through mid. Another lurk happening. Jing is gone. Patman had to delete that turret, and Alfier's right there behind him, avenging poor Timmy. Divide and Forsaken, you might have got this plant down, but how the hell are you going to dig yourself out of this one? Mistakes need to be made, and Fnatic not in the habit of making them often here. To dart against the back, all is revealed, and Forsaken can't do it all.
Fnatic overall in this tournament are playing about 2/3 of their rounds for retakes, but you see here, they're not all even 5v5 retakes. Finding picks as the attackers work their way in.
Destroyed.
Both from the operator and from the ultimates, applying that pressure and creating an easier retake for themselves. An almost impossible situation for those final two that were left alive. And I think they've got to be better at dealing with getting onto the line to fight Kayaks off. That was a pretty lazy way of trying to get onto that angle. One dart that didn't even land towards back yellow, and something swings at the same time.
Aggro here with a slow orb just to try and deny that belt space.
Both teams fighting for belt space and the ult orb.
Patman, hold on, walk about, Sheriff in hand, he just can't quite control it. Alfia, lucky to be alive from that spot, but still claims the kill.
Definitely would have been a punish on a rifle round.
Now regrouping up, Fnatic have got bodies ready to receive. They can fully aware of this one and how it's going to be landing, but as a sideways swing, sets up Divide perfectly.
Placing swarm grenade.
Stinger in hand. Plant can now go down here. They brought us to a 4v4. Close quarters weaponry. Paper Rex are going to be looking to try and take this fight towards Fnatic. No playing offside for it. Fnatic still grouped towards screens. The rifles looking to try and dissuade any chance. So Paper Rex getting away with that funny business. Grouped up together with the discipline. Chronicle, lights out from him.
So dependable, so reliable. Very good reasons why he's the winningest player of all time in Valorant. A win here would be utterly incredible for Chronicle's career, but everything has been the whole time. Crashies did not like the way that he took that fight. Shot bullets at 3 separate people that ran past him. Had to bail out of that one early, but got bailed out by the rest of the team. This is now 4 rounds in a row for Fnatic to start the half. It was dead even as we went into the pistol, and now Paper Rex are going to take a timeout. They've been taking a lot of these timeouts early on.
Yeah, second one now.
Final opportunity for Alex to have a bit of input. I mean, aside from later on if Fnatic decide to use one of their own. But it's got to be so stressful in his position too. They're still just settling into the BO5. It's a long way ahead. You can honestly afford to drop a map like this because you have Pearl coming up. You've got 2 maps that you're fantastic on later, Lotus and Split. But you don't want to squander any moments where you think you might be able to get it over the line. That's how opportunities slip. And Alex has seen it all.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, the rosters, they shift around. Individual players can come and go. but Alex has been there to witness every heartbreak and tried to fix them back onto the right path.
It's going to be tough going for PaperX here. No more intervention happening from Alex's behalf. They're going to try and run this one back to do it alone.
PaperX have been going for those mid lurks quite a lot. They put pressure on mid right at the start of the round, and they've had Patman try to lurk. They haven't been very successful with it. At some point, I wonder whether it puts them off entirely.
Couple of stray shots there, Sheriff in hand. Already trying to dash straight up. An attempt of a punish. PaperX are making this one fast and loose, playing it forwards, risks to be had. This is that PaperX of old, and just missing the top of nest. They're timing each other. Alpha still active here, trying to drop back as well. He needs some safety, and he needs some backup, but something is the one delivering death. All out to the opposition. There's kills happening all over the bloody place.
Something's got to hold off a double flank, but Jing might be the playmaker over in Snowman.
Still player advantage, not for much longer. There it is, something. He's evened it out 3v3, but for the repeat, all expected. Kayak, 2v3 now.
Jing was just,
Jing
was begging for people to come towards him, and really nobody has. Jing's positioning was cute, but no one's coming his way.
Yeah, and Crashy's brought back into the fold now. This is feeling inevitable. Updraft dash, cute play indeed, isolating the fight. Forsaken trying to make a go of it now, trying to really do the damage. But a bullet to the back, it's all up to Jing, and it's brought it to that 1v1. Smokes v smokes, Boaster sticking, it denied the chance. They brought that one back from an impossibility.
Really beautiful positioning and phenomenal impact from two incredible players. What was going on there?
Okay.
Absolutely bizarre. But this play from Forsaken, again, enormous impact, just what Mel was talking about on the desk. He might not be exactly at the top of the scoreboard, but every kill he gets is huge impact. And he set up a 1v1 for Jing to slam dunk.
Stem the bleeding for now.
Kayak on another pretty aggressive position. The drone designed to try to push him off, and he dips, not giving away the fact that he's got the op.
Trying to re-peek it as well. That's a wide face, something. Lucky just evades the bullets.
Does Kayak take Alfier's advice and re-fight? Or is he looking to play risk-averse and set up the retake with the rest of his team?
No dash available, it would be risky, just trying to take that timing inside that smoke with the updraft. Quick scope, bullets raining down onto him. Something, though, has been dropped. Chopped down at the knees is what it seemed. Chronicle happy to deal out that damage here on site.
Still with a recon.
Kayak.
Kayak's op is fantastic at preempting these spots that PaperX want to fight.
He's perfectly posted every single time. The dart is at 180. Patman has got to do a lot from this spot. Jing, again, heroics are called for. It's forward. The positioning, they're looking to try and stunt it, trying to stop it. Knives in hand. PaperX drawing blood. But again, that re-peek playing into Fnatic's hands to buy. Chronicle already on the defuse. He's got to start swinging, and he's got to do it now. It's all safety. Blade 4 Crashies watching for that peak.
These rounds are going to be tilting Alex in the coaching booth, I think. It's just not good enough for PaperX. Look, and in the replay, how often they're fighting one by one. Forsaken on his own. That was a bit of a double fight together, but here Patman swings with Divide having no real support. PaperX need to be coming up with ideas of how they want to fight together, or what timings they want to take together in the post plan. Because Fnatic are essentially just waiting.
Yeah.
They're not even really scaling on the retake, they're just holding, knowing that PaperX are going to run into them more.
It's a large reveal. PaperX are all grouped up.
Well, they've got a massive ultimate advantage in this round, Brent. So if there was a round to try to do something quick and hit them hard, hit them fast, it would be this one.
Fnatic are just giving them all that space again, like you said.
Post-plant lockdown would be crazy good from Divide too.
Updraft over with the knives. Looking for a target, looking for a sight line. Util just comes out swinging, rebounding. Finally, Forsaken can commit. PaperX do have ult to their own.
Yeah, my eyes immediately go to Divide, wondering when he's going to try to use this.
There it is. Smoke's dropped down. This is Fnatic trying to make a go. Lockdown's there. Already in. This is Fnatic trying to make a play for this. Kayak. There's no stopping this guy. Disgusting work, but a lockdown cannot be broken in time. Albiedo found himself a pocket, found himself a window. And Forsaken is going to do it all. Offload him with the ult. It's time ticking, really. That point. Found the kill. Running him down, though. Forsaken will be finished. And Kayak on the fuse.
That's close.
That's so damn close. Oh!
Less than a second on the clock of Fnatic. Perfectly execute a really difficult retake. How on earth do they get that into a 5v3 whilst battling through Devi's lockdown? Not sure what's going through Something's head here on this peak. I don't think that's a good one, but this shot is bonkers. A ludicrous one for Kayak to be bringing out. Absolutely jet diffing Something. And like I said, it's got to be tilting because I don't think PaperX are actually playing these rounds particularly well in the post. Earlier on Sunset, I think you could argue both teams were really bringing a good game, but now PaperX letting Icebox slip, and this could be Fnatic equalizing.
Kayak been unbelievable so far with his form. Icebox really is his playground, but he's forced to concede that space. Jing forward, sees it onto the shoulder poster. Gone, Alpha responds. It's traded out, but there's pressure in mid, and Devi still lurking through, but finally spotted out. Players need to deal with him, but it's all chaos thrown into the mix. Forsaken and Devi. There with a 3-2-1 swing. Chronicle gone, and PaperX still alive in mid. Onto the shoulder poster, gone, Alpha responds. It's traded out, but there's pressure in mid, and Devi still lurking through, but finally spotted out. Players need to deal with him, but it's all chaos thrown into the mix. Forsaken and Devi. There with a deep push and peek by Chronicle. It's already anticipated.
Good it went.
Kayak swinging, and look at it just draw blood out of them. PaperX. They are still there though, Devi. Can sense it, posturing it. PaperX.
Yeah, to make sure that their economy doesn't get completely broken.
Kayak swinging, and look at it just draw blood out of them. PaperX. Occurring, and a
good awareness from Devi.
And peek by Chronicle. It's it all now.
Might be able to recover one if he completely.
Problems. Jing pressing forwards, crashes. Well, the weapon of choice for Boaster, obviously. Not cleaned up though either, and that could spell problems. Jing pressing forwards, crashes now. He's got that rifle, needs to make it sing. He's already found himself two. Dart towards the back, needs to be dealt with, but doubled up PaperX.
Gonna be giving Alex a heart attack. But now Alex with another opportunity to talk to the team. And honestly, this might be a blessing for PaperX. Because despite winning 2 in a row, they don't look super confident right now.
No.
But it's the Fnatic coaches that have decided to take attack timeout. I'd be a little bit cautious about doing this, to be honest, because I do think it offers an opportunity for Alex to right the ship that's looking pretty shaky in this half overall. Last 2 rounds notwithstanding. Ults are back online as well for Fnatic though, so Milan might be just trying to drum up a set ult round that can knock PaperX out. A little bit similar to what we saw on Sunset towards the end, where you bring out a set play just to get across the line. And Fnatic do have depth. You know that they've got the experience. You know that they've got one of the greatest callers when things get scrappy in a mid-round. But this coaching staff has also proven themselves. It's been a great run since Milan got promoted to the head coach position.
Fnatic, they just need the one. PaperX, as you mentioned, it was a critical timeout taken by Fnatic. Good time to insert what's going wrong for them. PaperX, Alex will happily take that space, but 3 rounds still stands between them, drawing it to OT.
Jing going for another really deep push.
Forwards, Crashies is good. Ajao with a movement still. This is going to be rapid. And Jing's all the way around towards the side. One more TP. Try and get out of dodge there, but committing that paranoia. And Kayak filling in the pieces. Alpha tip tap in with the movement.
That's huge from Patman, being able to pick off the 1v1 fight against Alpha and trade Chronicle.
It's all over the place.
Patman can't reconnect with the rest of his team to really pop down this Viper's Pit on site.
Just tried to adjust, missing on either side.
Planted.
Dropping down though into that 3v2. Boaster might have just caught eyes onto Patman. Patman tucked up close, but Boaster is wise to it.
He's just trying to delay for as long as possible. Actually, maybe he didn't even...
the high ground!
Oh, what an off angle.
God damn!
I thought for a moment there, maybe he hadn't realized that Boaster had spotted him, but repositioned into a spot that he was going to be favored on. And this round, I think, again, another reason why I was a little bit worried about Fnatic taking that attack pause. Because Jing immediately comes out of it with a really unexpected way of pressuring these players over towards a mid-split. That recon dart that got thrown over the top from Forsaken. Oh, and the timing here as well.
And this operator, it's critical to Fnatic's game plan.
And this sets us up with a strong potential for overtime. The Fnatic economy is in a really bad spot now. And so, one more rifle round before OT. This play, though, I think huge credit given to Patman. Jing's in a pretty horrible spot there. And Patman has to win the battle against Alpha through Dupe before he can go and help him. Take a look at the buy, though. Knives, okay, huge for a Kayak, but 3 stingers to support.
The rifle and a lot of bolts on top of it. Kayak can't even escape.
I mean, that's insane from Jing just running through, but he has full trust in the paranoia.
Oh, full aggression. They're not stopping now. The Paper Rex of old wants to rear its head. The leash has been cut and snapped. There's no containing them. Like a pack of rabid velociraptors. Hungry for more.
You get to see the full gamut of Paper Rex here. We started out on Sunset with them playing that slower, more strategic style. And now you get the full W gaming. The last 4 rounds have been really heavily powered by Jing just doing crazy stuff on Omen. And this last round of regulation, at least, Fnatic have got to try to make an adjustment to stop that in its tracks.
And they are all in. Why wouldn't you be? Operator here. Smoke in your face to try and obfuscate. This is the Hunter's Fury that's coming out swinging.
They thought it was another one of those fast hits. Crashies gets the ult baited out as Paper Rex reset.
Conditioning for you. Device one away from an ult of his own now. Slower tempo. Even the ult just thrown into it. Jing obfuscating the intent, but bodies are now trying to form up.
That's supposed to draw bodies away from the A site and make it easier for Paper Rex, but there's still a pit here. There's still a lockdown.
Yeah, there's a lockdown for a lockdown here in this spot. Alpha's ready. Puts it up close to the screens. What's the next level to all of this? Hunter's Fury going to be committed. It's going to be breaking that portion of it, and this has to be respected now. Fnatic, they've offloaded everything to try and stay into this round, but the pit's going to be going down, and Crashies out into the open.
Boaster beefed it. That pit, you're supposed to get back inside, and he got detained.
And Paper Rex not slowing down. Still that res brings Crashy back into the fold, back into the fray. Watch the lie up through mid. Paper Rex, eager though, looking to see if they can topple Fnatic before they stand and get a grip onto this retake. Pressing forwards, shoulder to shoulder discipline. It's helped so far, but Fnatic need it now in spades. Jing, that extra element. Drifting into the side here, double tap, and the rifles are ringing out.
Paper Rex grab a 5th round in a row to take us into OT. Felt like an inevitability on Sunset, to be honest with you, but here on Icebox, Fnatic take a timeout and it goes straight back in their face. Paper Rex dial up the tempo, something on a high ground. Jing deep in heaven, getting into aggressive positions, unexpected spots. And even though Alpha dealt with the lurk, There were too many threats. The stress on both sides. And again, a reminder that when you look at the map pool, it feels a bit like a must-win for Fnatic. Next one is their permaban.
Standing ahead.
Smoke on the corner, something. Glass cannon operator. Opted into heavy defensive setup here by PaperX. Fnatic again, you're going to see that caution played by them. Tiptoeing around, a bit tepid, but trying to dissect the map. Going overhead, spots out the jet.
Yeah, spotting Kayak there gives you some decent information, an idea that it might well be ending A, so you can keep these 4 players, the trust they have in Patman, just to hold down B if their read is wrong. But it's not at all. Forsaken with exactly the right idea of what's happening here. Boaster calling for a little bit more pressure over towards B, and PaperX, they want info. They want to step up a little. As Boaster sniffed this out, he's calling for Fnatic to reposition.
Into the B split, perhaps.
And this is going to put Patman's head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And maybe Patman's head on a spike.
Going to be turning up the heat. 25 seconds left, down to the wire. Patman still has a snakebite to try and deny some space. Shot darts in your face. Walls up, same with the orbs. PaperX starting to get a bit of a read on this one here, but again, Patman needs to try and deny. He steps forward, blind as anything. He does not know what's going on. PaperX trying to even it out. Kayak with the peak, but the plant needs to go down. With no issues further. Crashies commits. They're getting into the spot now. Fnatic putting a squeeze onto these PaperX players. They're going to try and clear this guy out. Kayak, he's done. Finished. Paranoia up top. Jing, the way. Nearsighted Chronicle may be, but this guy will not be denied. Something's still there though, swinging wide. The operator switched around. Weaponry now with a rifle. Time starting to tick in a 1v1. Crashies, tepid, approach, and it works best for him.
Again, Crashies comes up in the clutch. What a recovery in a 3v3 situation there. Boaster calling a brilliant slow round. It felt like Forsaken exactly knew what was happening, but the further the time ticked, the more that Boaster realized and sniffed out that stack on A. Chronicle 2, legendary in that top nest position. And Fnatic once more have an opportunity to close.
Forwards, Kayak trying to fill in their space here. Oh my god, the pure disrespect. The dash is there. Boaster needs to try and stop them here, but he's isolated onto the corner and caught out wide. Kayak's still there though. This guy is eager to just try and play into the mechanics. PaperX not stopping. The feed is filled with red and blood being spilt out onto the site. Tricky task indeed for Fnatic. Walls up and everyone is falling slowly but surely. Chronicle, last one left. 5 bullets left in a swing from Divide. All the confidence in the world.
PaperX have figured out exactly what is working on these attack sites. It definitely feels like they're the team that's closer to being able to close this out, to be honest with you. Despite the fact that Fnatic had so many map points to be able to work with, this looks like PaperX is to lose because their attacks, the fast, aggressive approach is just barreling through Fnatic. Something, again, that pulls out the operator, and Fnatic, they got an extra timeout to use once things go to OT, and they're going to use it fairly early on. 13-13, and Milan wants input. Every player, by the way, on Fnatic, over 20 kills apart from Boaster, who's only got 7. That's a little bit rough.
Struggling to put up the numbers.
At the same time, though, it does show you that the other 4 players are all having very good performances.
Yeah.
Because all 4 of them have had huge rounds, big moments. And Boaster's calling has still been finding impact, even if his rifle isn't.
That's what Fnatic are leaning on here.
To be honest, Brent, I think you look at the other side of things, and the player at the bottom of the scoreboard there is something. And if he can find one round, just one, with the defensive off, that will right all of the wrongs of what he's been up to in this map. Because PaperX have already got the game plan for the attack side, it's working. If he can find a big operator round here, he could well put his team up to a maybe insurmountable lead.
Placing swamp grenade.
Fnatic taking his time to recuperate, breathe a little bit. It's a slow orb that could have been thrown out, but Forsaken, no, he's just, I mean, okay, scot-free.
Yeah, he was playing for that pretty heavily in regulation. Less important, arguably, here in overtime because everybody starts 3 away. Don't know if you noticed that Nana Swarm as well that was put down on top Jenny from Devi. That's where Kayak's been pathing to almost every time. So they've got a very specific counter plan here. Look at Jing holding that paranoia as well. They know exactly what they want to do to counter this Fnatic A hit.
Primed, ready to pounce here.
It does feel like these timeouts have been helping Alex and PaperX more than Fnatic.
Drone's broken. Deep control towards B. Any posturing by Fnatic is put to an end. And now, eyes set over towards A. Triple face, alarm bell. It's going to be gone. Jing there with a paranoia! Oh my goodness!
It works perfectly. The game plan, absolute perfection.
Cut them to shreds, and Fnatic now left scrambling for options.
There's the op value as well. Devi tucked onto a position that's really tough to clear.
And Kayak is going to try and win that. Final bullets left!
Spike down.
Mid-animation Boaster, the captain himself. He's going to right the wrongs of the round, but on top of the ropes, the purest form of disrespect, PaperX.
And that was the round that they needed. Every attack round has been going well for them. They won the last 5 in a row to close out regulation.
One enemy.
It's been pacey, it's been fast. W Gaming and the train keeps on trucking. Let's see if Fnatic have an answer, because all of the pressure is now on them.
Oh yeah. On their attack side, PaperX are sending it.
Revealing area.
Grouped up, deep dark paranoia. They're making it feel like it's that fast B pressure. And Kayak is taking liberties, taking risks. Him versus Devi finds it.
That's huge info as well. You see Devi on this side of the map, you know at least that they're defaulting. You don't know for sure that they're coming back over towards A, but you know it's not that fast B hit. And look how quickly Alpha just takes all of this space on B.
Oh, yeah, deep push. Mid-round information going to be given up here. The rest of his team, an attempt of a punish at a jump spot. Boaster, the acknowledgement he was looking for.
I mean, what a decision from Forsaken to try to fake.
Yeah, he's creeping in through the back. They already know he's there. Patman will anticipate it. Bodies out wide to the open. Patman just sidesteps it. Alternating with the movement, but tucked behind Dice. Forsaken is creeping forward. Off of that contact, Kayak. When is your time to strike? Deep dart, dash active, wall up into your face. Throw into the corner, clears him out though. We'll have to use it to disengage.
Chronicle can step in to cover that though. PaperX still, even with all 3 players here, have got a difficult task.
3v4 wars down as well, out to the open. Jing is dropped.
30 seconds left.
The Fnatic have found it. Their footing, the foundation. A safety net now, all the pressure's on Patman. 1v3, 20 seconds left. Taps it, looking for a kill, looking for a cheap fight. Again, he's not going to be given it. Snake bite, all the options reduced to ruins.
I respect the balls to go for a fake there. If it had worked, we'd be calling Forsaken a genius. But actually, he just deviated away from a game plan that's been working for PaperX. The pace, the aggression, Fnatic did not have an answer for it. And instead in this round, maybe overcooking things slightly. Went to fake that fast pressure and played into the kind of tempo that Boaster's super happy to call against. Immediately, Kayak realized it was a fake. Alpha got quick on the flank, and now we're back to even.
14-14. Up overhead with the util.
Something still going for the operator. Every round on defense has been trying to make it work. Did find a little bit of value with it over towards B. They've got to be watching out for this paranoia again. It worked so well last time for Jing, but he's not really in a spot to use it now.
Cheeky with the positioning.
It looks to me like they're trying to fake that it's only Alpha here on A. You know, he's the player that's getting up, getting forwards.
Last man with the dart. It's going to be a drone. Fnatic faking like they're taking B control. Looking to see if they can pull bodies to make A a little bit weaker. Soften it up for the take now.
I mean, that's nice. Patman takes contact, which disguises where the operator is. So it could still be on A.
They're drifting though. PaperX are losing control. Not a hard anchor it now, but they're seeing signs of life and hearing it on top of it. Nano Swarms, Detted. All up in your face to delay.
Do they play to flood? Do they play to defend and deny the spike?
Devi is hard committed. He's seeing just a body. He's peeking over towards the top of this row. And we're seeing it now. Paranoia's forwards again. There's a wall into your face. Fnatic have access towards it.
Insane!
What is that by Jing? Fnatic! Vice grip now over towards the site. And it scraps on the floor that Patman has to pick up and make something from it. Damage done, bullets raining through, but right from the side, Chronicle never denied. Something here, operator in hand, but this is just dire. Oscillating the momentum of this map, happening round by round. Picks up the rifle, but you got one hell of a task, and no clearance again. Time's ticking, it's all against it. Crashies knows it.
Big round from Chronicle, but also a wild play from Jing. We saw the value we got from the Paranoia in the previous round. This time, tries to send it again. Throws that out, goes for the TP. But I mean, that is some nutcase behavior. You see, it did land onto Crashies, but just there's way too many people around there. Again, respect.
Holy shit, that's size, bro.
Respect for going for the play, but keeping things simple might have had PaperX already close out the map at this point. And a couple of rounds ago, it felt like they were completely in control. Now it does not.
Now it's flipped, 180.
Thing is though, PaperX, again, could just go back to playing those fast attack sides. And we've yet to see Fnatic demonstrate they have an answer. Yeah. There's been no evidence that they actually can deal with that pace. But the more that you have to battle against their map points, the more you start to overthink things. And this map, if it ends up being important later on, will be a difficult mental barrier to overcome for PaperX if they lose control here. They did such a good job getting to overtime, denying 5 map points.
Fnatic have clawed it back. One more round is all they need to seal up Icebox. Draw us level here in a best-of-5 grand finals.
Fnatic's job is to deny, keep that trophy out of reach.
He's taking a peek here early. It's an operator in his hands. Wall up and over, you don't anticipate this one. It's a classic play, or do you? Heads-up play, you're trying to use those walls against PaperX. They were born in it, molded by that play.
Beautiful anticipation from Forsaken. Now, the wall does still block Patman off. And Alpha, he's pushed up.
Alpha, you are so hard committed here, but he just spots it onto the drone as well. And my God, man! Does he deliver? Taken out eventually. But he's brought it into a 3v3. Hearing the footsteps, the rumble, Patman, there's a timing to be taken, and he just grasps it immediately, jumps on a chance.
And this isolates Crashies. Crashies would have to be a hero for Fnatic to get this across the line.
Put towards the back of the box. Walking forwards here, there's a wall into their faces. There's a game on those timings. Again, Crashies, surely not long for the world. And there it is, Patman from behind. PaperX not done yet.
Planted.
A round where Fnatic tried to pull out a cutesy play. And it leaves the caller in a 1v3. He's destroyed at the end. 15-15. Neither team can get a proper advantage over the other and get a grip on this. They're bringing out tactics they probably haven't tried in quite some time. Both teams have got depth.
One enemy remaining.
But things get scrappy the deeper you get.
You are insane, bro. You are insane, bro.
All compliments.
Thanks.
Back up on their feet here, 15-15.
Oh, PaperX fighting aggro.
Aggro as anything, Kayak though. One shot to the dome, Jing is gone. Wants a little bit more with that dash active. It's going to be used on either side. Something just needs to try and escape. Got the safety net of Forsaken watching over the shoulder.
And Fnatic back up, anticipating some level of aggression elsewhere around the map. Alpha almost got an opportunity to pick off Patmen in mid with that attack up. And Patmen is not going to go for it again. Paper Rex are anticipating a re-hit here, and that does look like the idea here.
Just cautious for now, though.
And Fnatic always with these opportunities to pivot back to Boaster. Boaster's done a very good job in this map of just applying options, giving himself options to work with. His is the more passive role, just making sure nobody pushes out of B. And once again, Patmen is asked to do so much.
On a knife's edge here, on top of the wall, it's a dart. Trying to take this timing pass. He's going to try and push forwards. Take the fight to it. There's an orb in the face of these players. Wall up now on top of it. Creeping forwards already.
He caught this timing before.
Wall up though. Surely it's going to be watched for. Spam happening, occurring. Popping up on towards the top! Alpha! How the hell do you land that one? Spike planted. Best scenario you could really hope for if you're Fnatic in this spot here. Again, Alpha, shoulder, peeking out. Taken out. Deep down against the back. Prime's ready and finally let loose with the slow orbs. You can see that 3-2-1 with a swing. Timing to be taken. Something's on the flank. Already ripping his way all the way past. Needs to be taken out. Something. He's found it. Dash back already. But the time is ticking away.
2 bullets.
And 2 bullets, 2 players, not enough to get it all done.
Fnatic again with a really solid round to put themselves up once more. So many opportunities to close this. The timing that Patmen tries to take, he was rewarded for it previously. This time though, not focusing on the planter, seeing if he could catch a player that was looking to defend and failed. Forsaken pulls out the Odin to try to deny the orb, the wall perhaps?
Second guessing it.
Yeah, decides not to go for it in the end.
Down again. Jing TP's forwards. This is it. Fnatic trying to lock in, trying to step up to that task that's ahead of them here.
And there's the player that's been driving the train forwards. The engine power was coming from Jing in all of these fast attack rounds. Now something has to step up an entry. Dash already popped.
Kayak still here. Put over towards the top there, just spotting it out, and the damage done something. 1 bullet to the chest is all it takes for Fnatic. They can feel it. Energy here on their sides. 3v5, it's all contact called for here by Paper Rex. They're hoping there's an overextension. Never in a million years though. Fnatic are always going to be disciplined. Snakebite up and over. Dodged and juked the dart towards the back to buy. He's to land these shots. There's no freebies handed to him. Fnatic just bite it out.
They're always expecting Paper Rex to be the ones making the play. The time is going to be ticking here for Fnatic, though. They've got to go at some point.
Double face up towards the top. Patmen reveals his hand with a snakebite drop down on top of it, and this is it. Fnatic never denied it. Hard going all the way through, but they have made it even.
So many opportunities to close this one out, and finally Fnatic managed to grab one of them. 17-15. Both of these maps have been a grind. And in a final like this, so much is about endurance and how you pace yourself. Up next, Fnatic's permaban.
This mother doesn't need respect. Come on!
The Alpha is raging.
No!
Alpha is hungry.
Normally we say respect everyone, fear no one, but they don't give respect to them, okay? Just swing them, just smash their heads, okay?
Turkish wolf is hungry.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Spike defused.
human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
What's up, everybody? Vansillion back on the floor right now. Well, you know what time it is. When I'm at the bottom of the stairs on the stage, it's time to play a game. It's time to play Pop-Off. I'm still waiting for my contestants to come on. Actually, let's bring them right now. We actually have Abigail representing Fnatic, and Kat, please come in. Everybody, Toronto, give them a hand of applause. My friends, it has been an intensive game so far. How are you doing? I think your voice is almost as gone as mine.
Yeah, I'm out of breath.
Awesome. And for you, Kat, are you going for Paper X here? I'm pretty sure it's a 1-1 score line. You think they're going to win it all?
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, Kat, I had you coming on. I was like, hey, do you know what we're doing? And you said you have no idea. So the premise around this, it's popping off. So I'm a bandwagoner. I don't know who to go for anymore. I don't know if it's going to be Fnatic or Paper X. So you guys are going to help me predict. So you're going to lace on to these apparels that we have. Apparatus. There you go. I got my English right. And then we're going to have you pump a balloon. And if your balloon pops, that means it's going to be your team winning the next map. Are you ready for that?
Okay.
So we're going to get our cardio in. Are we good for that?
All right, yeah. Let's go.
How many steps do you do a day?
Oh, like 5.
How about you, Abigail?
What?
How many steps do you do a day?
Oh, not sometimes. 0.
This is gonna be intense then, I guess. I don't know how many steps we're gonna take here, but we're gonna get the helmet up. Let's get the helmet up. Kat, you got the Paper X with the balloon. Abigail, the Fnatic one, you ready for that one as well? Too much hair. We didn't plan this really on trying to get the helmet on time. Yeah, make sure you have your balance right as well. But Toronto, are we gonna try to go here for Abigail with Fnatic? Or how about Kat with Paper X? I saw the votes up there, and it looked like there was a lot of Paper X fans in the audience and around the world. So, all Paper X fans, louder than Fnatic. Paper X, make some noise! And Fnatic, make some noise! Welcome back, everyone. And
Fnatic won.
Fnatic won. In case you're wondering, Fnatic won the balloon thing, the jig'em, whatever that is.
Official name, by the way.
That is the actual name of it. Indeed, it is. But we are all knotted up 1-1 in this series here. It's now time for our Verizon high-speed moment. This one going to go to Alfier because we ended up seeing, actually, this Fnatic team really get awoken in this one. They needed this in order to get back into this meeting.
They absolutely did. This was their must-win map in this series, and they had a bit of a rough start. Went down 0-4, lost the bonus round, but then as he has stepped up it many times throughout this tournament, it was Fnatic, or it was Alfier, I should say, who brought Fnatic back into this one. He has been playing so well individually throughout this entire run, just looks so confident on that stage, Bea.
Sometimes you have to be confident, you have to disrespect your opponent, and Alpha needs this kind of rounds. He knows that he's the player that can put the rest of his team in his shoulders and have this kind of moments to bring them back into the game, because those 4 rounds had been so successful for the side of Paper X that if this hadn't happened, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
Yeah, and if
so it'd be different.
If we're thinking ahead to who might put on that bracelet and be MVP in a couple hours, I think the top contenders for Fnatic right now are Alpha and Chronicle, both of whom had really big impact that game.
Yeah, but let's not forget about the rookies, though, right? Because we've been seeing Kayak as well as Patman step up a couple of times here, Bea, and it's been great to see the rookies take to the stage like this.
It's so important. We had clutches coming in from Patman. His lurks were on point and an absolute absolute pain in the ass to deal with for Fnatic. Kayak also 11-3 in opening duels, and we were seeing it round after round because of the approach that Fnatic has in this map. Yes, they're very good at retaking and whatnot, but against a team that doesn't really have that many means to get the spike down, Kayak needed to be the one actually spearheading from the defense, making use of that operator that he's so good at, Mimi.
What impressed me the most of his defensive opping wasn't even when he was going for forward peaks. It was when Fnatic was flying back and getting set for their retakes. He would pick really good angles to punish Paper X trying to fight deep into site. Because the way you counter Sage retake teams is you fight into back site. And constantly, Kayak was able to deny those angles, keep the players from Paper X push back, and make those retakes that Fnatic just kept winning so easy to pull off.
Yeah, but of course, we started to see things get a little wonky as the series, or rather as the map continued forward here. But what we did get was a strong Fnatic second half there, right, guys? And we were seeing Fnatic come back into this one, but don't get me wrong, though. This could have gone either way, especially with the way OT played out.
Yeah, exactly. I think that starting with this strong second part of the map, when they go onto the defense, they needed to stand up very, very strong. A 6-6 half is a very good result when you start on the attack. So for Fnatic to understand how to play this map against Paper X, having those initiations was very, very important, Mimi.
Early on for them, too, they had such a good read on that piss around to punish the Paper X players who were pushing in through mid. Fnatic, the team, was really good at slowing things down, taking that step back, punishing aggression, and then playing those advantageous later rounds, which is super successful early on. But as we got deeper into that second half, the chaos started to seep in.
How are you doing?
Paper X, I mean, nearly brought it back.
Were you good? How was your heart? How are you handling it?
My heart was okay, but it's like sometimes you see a gap in a map and you see Paper X taking advantage of that, and you're like, please, I know you know, Fnatic.
Hey, but you know what, though? Now we know that we're going to be heading over to map 3, Pearl. And definitively, we're going to Lotus for sure to settle this one. But let's talk about how this series layout has played out, because, Bea, it does feel like everything has gone as predicted. You know, we were calling Paper X for map 1, Fnatic for map 2, but now we're going to Pearl, which Fnatic do not like.
Yeah, do not like. They've played it one time this year, but oh my god. Is this a spoiler?
He's hovering the neon.
Alpha, are you doing this? I was going to say they've only played it once this year. It is a map that Fnatic hates. Previous to that, 2022 in VCT is not something that we see a lot from Paper X, though. This is the first map that they played in this competition, and a 13-1 win for them against Heretics. So it's very smart for them to be picking this map as their third one. And Alpha, are you going to do He used to play the Neon on this map. We haven't seen it a lot, but with this double duelist approach from Fnatic, I'm liking it.
And this is basically the comp that we saw T1 be very successful with when they were playing and when they went on to win Masters Bangkok. On defense, especially, those two duelists can work so well together to play into these flood retakes. It's two players that we know have been playing amazingly just as shooters this tournament. I would love to see this comp get locked for Fnatic.
Well, they're still hovering over it. They haven't made any changes as far as like selecting other options. They're using that time effectively to communicate, right? Because, you know, Boaster wants to make sure that he's just giving the orders to the troops, right? And it's very important to make sure that you lock this thing down.
If that was the must-win map on Icebox for Fnatic, I think
my god!
This is the map that Paper X needs to win. You cannot pick into your opponent's permaban and lose to them there. That sets up a very scary end to this series then for the boys from APAC.
In the words of Admiral Akbar, is it a trap? Are we in for a trap? What is going on here?
It might be. You know, you're going into the unknown. Paper X knows this map very well. Going back into this double duelist that favors them so much. Now we get in the double duelist versus double duelist, something that we will get to see in Split if we get to that final map. But I want to know how this changes the perception that Paper X had. And also, 100% important, Davai having such a good series and playing on device.
All right, folks, let's get ready for map 3. Send it back over to your casters. Here's Brent and Sideshow.
So we're stepping into the unknown here as we go into Pearl. Paper X, you can imagine, okay, you've got some form of an advantage where you can make Fnatic play this map, but you're also going up against a composition which you've seen before, granted, but not the way that Fnatic might play it. It's a lot of unknowns, and it's shaky territory still at 1-1 here in our grand finals.
Now, The other time that we saw PaperX play on this map as well, it was a 13-1 dismissal of Team Heretics, but that was also them beginning on their attack side, which means we barely saw the defense whatsoever. So even though we know that their attack is phenomenally good, at least in the one example we saw at this tournament, we actually don't know anything about their defense. PaperX might suck at defending on this map. We don't know yet. It has been a very good map for them domestically though, and so if you look back there, you shouldn't be too worried about things. And I would echo what the desk is saying. You've got to win on your opponent's permaban pick. But we have seen at tournaments in global finals before that sometimes that is easier said than done. These teams, when they have a permaban, are able to come out with a weird comp, like for example Alpha on Neon, and they're able to throw caution to the wind and play with a level of recklessness that you wouldn't expect sometimes. If Fnatic had any map that they just decided to send it on, it would be here on Pearl. And it puts all the pressure right back on PaperX after they just lost in OT.
Seeing Fnatic on that attack side here as we step into Pearl. Big group up early on. We can see it up here on the casting desk, but potential for some early fights occurring out towards B.
Map 3, where things really start to heat up in a BO5 grand final here. Something and Divide looking down B long, wondering if they want to take contact early. PaperX trying to fight over both edges of the map. And now spreading back out again to make sure they collect any timings like this that have gone missing. But exactly as Chronicle and Boaster go to take some art control, Jing was backing up.
Posted now. Oh my goodness. Forsaken, not to be outdone. First kill immediately evened out from Fnatic's side of things here. But that Sheriff, yeah, short work is made to the opposition. Fnatic now leaving the map into partitions, and they're not going to be denied this plant. Divide would have to go absolutely crazy.
Spike planted.
Chronicle 3-piece to get things started here on Pearl.
Something we haven't discussed too much as well is how much the first kills are going the way of Fnatic. First map, I was looking at it and I was like, wow, that's kind of ridiculous actually. They're getting a ton. And then it happens again, pretty much the same way. Even though the maps are close, Fnatic is dominating in the first kill department. Across these first two maps, they're up plus 14, now plus 15 after that pistol. So PaperX are constantly having to battle back from being down 4v5. Now sometimes they do get those trades instantly if they're deathballed together. But it's worth keeping in mind here.
Time to jump.
Every player apart from Boaster, very positive in the first kill department.
Oh yeah.
And Chronicle, he had massive impact in the pistol round, and now with just the Sheriff is able to go wandering. He's got a little more freedom.
Players are posted, getting into spot and position. They're seeing signs of life here, but immediately eviscerated. Divide doing backflips towards the back of the site, and rifle in hand. Okay, Kayak trying to test himself a little bit. Sharp with the aim of the first shot, but step forwards. It's all anticipated and recovered when it comes to the weaponry.
Throwing down the spike as well to make sure that they prioritize Crashy's ultimate. No, giving it over instead to Chronicle, who's a little closer to the lockdown, which is a pretty huge tool that you can work with. Forsaken comes through. Spanks Alpha, yeah? But he's only got a Frenzy to be able to work with.
That's not much.
Would be a ridiculous 1v4. I don't think the chances are particularly high.
Unlikely.
Fnatic trying to keep it clean, putting the rifle into Chronicle's hand as well.
Forsaken's not going to be taking any peeks here, so a strong beginning for Fnatic here on Pearl. As we said it, and we set it up, series of unknowns on either side.
Yeah, so much to wonder about. I mean, the EMEA teams in general don't really love playing on Pearl. But Fnatic, no exception to that. Not a team that's had even historic success, particularly here. But also, they knew 100% that they were going to be playing it here today. So the two maps in my opinion, if I put myself in Fnatic's coaching shoes, I'd be prepping hardest for Sunset and for Pearl.
One enemy remaining.
Go, go, go.
Sunset, they put up a really good showing. There was a possibility that they could have taken that one, but this, we'll have to see. Boaster with the attack op.
Okay. Round 3.
I mean, it's not like he's never done it before, but round 3?
Yeah, bonus round. When you least expect it. Quick little glide and dash to the side. Fights to be had. Jing, he loses his out. Instant dismissal. Alpha, you might be getting a bit overzealous there, but the stun's ricocheting. It's random spam. Over the shoulder, finding that gap. Something snaps down, and Boaster's done. Pings it out as well. I think even spotting out that they did invest into that operator.
Yeah, so they might be expecting that Fnatic will go back and try to recover that over towards B.
Where's that one going?
I mean, I don't think
Surely
that
not thinking
Kayak's
about
ever
it.
going to actually take that one. Certainly not with Devi watching it like a hawk.
No.
Alpha took a lot of spam when he was trying to get a little more aggressive and push his luck in A main. So it's going to be tough for him to get too much impact. This round, probably on Kayak.
The connector. Both. Okay, well Forsaken is doing a lot of work.
Last player.
Deadlifting that portion of the map and taking it fully away from Fnatic. And yeah, Alpha's like, wait a second.
Go, go, go.
I mean, his job here might just be to try to collect the operator and something.
Exactly.
He's got it on lock. Dealt with Boaster early on. Closes
down.
down.
So he's aware of it even. We just saw there, obtained the upgrade of himself. So there's going to be a defensive operator now to worry about if you are Fnatic.
And I think they might have just given a really lovely gift over to the defenders. It's a questionable decision, I think, from Boaster. Especially the way that he was trying to get set up with the op. So now in this round, Alpha, yeah, the player with some of the sharpest aim in the entire server is going to bring a judge out.
Well, we'll see what he can do with it. Get up into their faces perhaps already, and he's going to look to do that over the Wanted. Nasty stuff from Forsaken. Takes control of the rifle in his hands. That's a hard target to hit.
And Alpha, yeah, denied immediately. Maybe trying to push his luck a little. Not a duelist that he's super familiar with.
Bits and pieces of Util now. I mean, it's going to be held into the hands of these Fnatic players, looking to see if they can take a bit of mid-control. Clone. Sure, oh, they're stuck onto the corner. It doesn't even trigger the wall. And
the
a seize and a nade. Oh, done! These combinations are cooking! That's a foul concoction if you are Fnatic. You're going to need those heroics! But it's all watched. Crashies in a 1v5.
That's a beautiful round put together from PaperX. It really is. And a wallbang even all the way through mid, putting a little bit of damage on the Crashies.
30 seconds
The
left.
combo of the seize nade into the pull and into the swing just destroys Fnatic, but they'd already been set up. Couple of weird moments here. I mean, Kayak's teleport all the way down into Flowers was a bit of an unusual one. And then his clone getting stuck, failing to trigger out the wall. You can definitely see, I think, that Fnatic are less comfortable.
Yep.
The details are not perfect here.
Throw going amiss. That's ridiculous. Okay.
The slide is really late, though. I mean, he's jumping through and trying to slide. And that's a silly way of ending.
A load of surprises.
Another little evil chuckle there from Batman.
Yeah.
And now Fnatic's economy not in a good spot. They forced up in the previous one, like I said, with that judge. And something is just sitting pretty on the other side of the map with Boaster's operator.
Still in his hands, still watching that deep B line. Makes the guessing game a little bit easier and a lot of stall util.
Yeah. I mean, if it ends up landing kills here,
all the way up.
Fnatic are going to be feeling really bad about the fact that such a valuable asset has gone into the hands of PaperX. It's like Mini in weapon form.
Something's really trying to min-max these timings, I think. The gate crash, backs himself out here. Going to be hearing that drone, just trying to avoid it. Ducking, juking, but now, okay, recall start. Discipline is going to be there from Fnatic. Do you expect something to be here? That's the question.
It's a great flash.
So to the side here, just stepping up, and wow, okay.
Better shot.
That's overkill. Head's going to be rolling straight off the shoulders there.
Alpha does have his ult to be able to work with, but maybe Alpha's job here is just going to be to try to run a fake and pull eyes towards B. You see Chronicle inserted over towards A, as the rest of the team tries to go back over towards and connect with this guy.
Chronicle's got to get some damage done too. Anything to crack this one open. Contact plays for now. Being peeked out, Divide. Just there's the Thorns. Down below it, it's going to be swinging wide. That flash was a good connection. Forsaken already ready to supplement. Deep Dart dealt with. Almost lining themselves up for it. It is precise from PaperX. Surgical almost, and it leaves it into Alpha's hands. Too much for him to do.
Very comfortable there anchoring from Divide. Super comfortable in that kind of spot. Showing you exactly how to play around it. The flash, the Thorns.
Good hit.
And he's got a perfect idea of where the player is going to be positioned. Chronicle core.
Shame. One enemy.
But now the rifles are back for Fnatic. Couple of rounds of lower recon, and now Alpha gets a Vandal. Something still with an operator, so always that's going to be a difficult one.
Oh, let's see. I still support PureX. I will still support PureX, but I need to care myself about my health.